You will not be able to stay home, brother.
This is the Parley, a place where guests are required to put their money where their mouth is, where we double down on the discourse and conversation. That's the only currency accepted. Proudly presented by the Nefarious Media Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, people all over the world, welcome to another edition of the Parley. Like that lady said off the top of the show, this is the place where conversation is the only currency accepted. We have another great episode this week. A lot of fun topics to get into. Well, a couple fun topics, and then there's the topic we'll start today's show with. So we'll get into that here in a second. Of course, we got to let you know who we are. I am the Godfather, Nate Milton, your favorite podcaster's favorite podcaster, over 10 years in the game. Ain't a damn thing changed. And I'm joined by a couple good people this week for the edition of the Parlay. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, we want to bring out one of the best producers in the game. A lot of y'all know this man is Caitlin Dark because he is the Caitlin Clark of podcast production. But for this week, maybe this week only, we will refer to him as the name he was referred to most recently in our nation's capital. Red Hat Ray, get on out here, brother. Ray Williams, two-way Ray in the chat. What's good, Ray?
Everything's all right. Just trying to enjoy the beginning of my summer, and it's always good to chat with you brothers and have another rousing evening of discussion. So.
Now, Ray, we do have. See, you was out there on the ground in the nation's capital for UFC 250. You was reporting on that, but little did you know, we had a reporter spying on you at the same time, and we have reports, verified reports from the ground that you were indeed wearing a red hat at these proceedings. Now, I know you're gonna try to say it was a Washington Nationals hat and you were just trying to fit in, but Ray, were you indeed wearing a red ball cap at UFC Freedom 250, man?
Next question. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Ray was like, I got to fit in somehow. I'm behind enemy lines, cuz. But yes, we gonna talk about this, Ray, because you've had a chance to speak about your experience in a couple different forms, both on our socials as well as here at Nefarious Proper with Chris and Jay. But I haven't had a chance to really talk to you about your trip and your experience, so we're gonna talk about that here on episode 23 of the Parlay. By the way, that is Ray's favorite Miley Cyrus song, that 23, when Miley was cosplaying blackness. Let's never forget. Them songs was bangers, but Miley was out here appropriating on these streets. Never forget.
You're not lying.
Looking like a model who just got a check. Like, Miley, if you don't sit your ass down. In the words of Nicki Minaj, what's really good, Miley? What's really good, sis?
I wasn't messing with Miley like that.
It was a good song though. Like it was just a weird era for Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Like she dipped into the urban bag, got her check, and then went back to the country, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So many people took that tour. Like Gwen Stefani took a tour of blackness.
Yeah.
Your man's Post Malone took an extended tour of blackness.
Yeah. Your girl Taylor Swift, she had
Swift, yeah.
We ain't gonna act like we ain't see those girls twerking and shake it off, Taylor. You just discarded them, and then you got the nerve to come out with that album once you got with Travis Kelce. like you were all bad stuff, Taylor. You need to stop.
Who's that guy now that just came out with the one album where he was exploring his blackness?
Oh, what was that Jack Harlow?
Jack Harlow, yeah.
Jack
Harlow, who also had the nerve in one of his recent songs to it was like some whips and chains. Like you can't be exploring your blackness, but then talking about the whips and chains.
Oh yeah.
I ain't got no whips and chains, and you can't tie me down. Like, was that a affirmation of rebelling against your slave masters? Is that how you gonna try to spin it, Jack? You can whip your loving on me because you lost me in the next line.
Right.
Lost me in the next line, boy. I'm vanilla, baby. Like, you sure are. That is the only thing I believe in this song. You are vanilla, brother. But anyway, somebody who is not vanilla either in complexion or in his opinions is joining us, Ray. Mm-hmm. And you know, we always like to chop it up with his brother, especially given the subject topic of our first discussion here at the Parley this week. But especially after last night, y'all don't know what this brother done been through. Not only was he subjected to a 45-minute conversation on the merits of Jey Uso beating Obafemi, but he also survived a TNA Slammiversary pay-per-view preview. So let's give it up for the angry intellectual himself, the mayor pro tem of Los Angeles, California, the man who was instrumental behind the scenes of bringing Luka Doncic to the LA Lakers. By the way, NBA draft tomorrow night. Should be interesting. Cover it, though. We ain't cover it, though. But this brother covers everything, whether it be sports or politics. Y'all give it up for the professor, Chris Ely, a.k.a. Chris from LA. Can we rock? What's up, Doc?
Yeah, what's up, man? Chilling. Just looking forward to today's show, today's festivities. I do got my timer on because I do have probably a hard out here, depending on if my guest gets here on time. So we'll see.
Okay, is that your newly inducted TNA timer? You just like, I ain't talking about this shit no more, cuz.
Nah. This is waiting on a delivery guy.
Okay.
Should be here about 2.5 hours.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, we should let's plan to be out of here by then, Ray. We can't be here all day, all night, Ray. Do your damn job.
Famous last words.
Tight 120, Ray. Tight 120, brother.
Just like you said yesterday, it was going to be brisk because we were just doing the predictions.
I mean, to be fair, if you took Brandon out, we would have been in under 5 hours. But why would you take Brandon Thurston out? Check out the latest edition of the NWA podcast, which we did last night / this morning over at Post Wrestling, where we previewed all 4 of the big shows coming up here with NXT Great American Bash, if you will, Daddy. We talked about Chris's favorite TNA Slammiversary.
Yeah,
we talked about AEW Forbidden Door, and we talked about WWE Night of Champions, Chris.
I don't think I reviewed a TNA, and this is legit. This is shoot.
It's a shoot, brother.
I don't think I reviewed a TNA show before last night since like 2013-ish, maybe.
Damn.
I think it was probably when we first started on Kings of Sport. It's been that long.
Talking about back in the Spike TV days, cuz.
Yeah, this is a long ass time ago.
The streets been waiting. They've been pondering. They've been clamoring for.
Yeah, when TNA was the number 2 thing, I made sure I would always watch it. You know, when they got bumped out of number 2, it just made no sense.
You know, they a strong 4, Chris. They a strong 4.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, it's just like my RC Cola. My what's it? Not even the Kroger Oreos.
You know, look, you can't always get Dr. Pepper, Chris. Sometimes you got to get Dr. Thunder.
Yeah, Dr. Thunder, Dr.
Mr.
K, Dr. Perky,
Mr. Pibb on these streets.
Mr. Pibb. Yeah, Mr. Pibb is a Coke product though, so you know that's a little
man. But you know what else could have been a Coke product allegedly? A president deciding to have a fight on the front lawn of the People's House, Chris. That could have been fueled by some substances. I'm not saying it was, but it's something, it's an idea that could have been fueled by Coke. So let's get into it. Before we get into our big topic of this episode, I wanted to go back a little bit because, as I mentioned, Chris and Ray and our buddy Main Event, Jay Lacey, had a chance to discuss the recent UFC card at the White House held by 45-47. Hit the button, Ray.
Oh, man, you always catch me off.
You stay ready. You ain't got to get ready, Ray Williams.
Do I have it in here?
All right, I'm going to set you back up again. Let's start off by talking about the recent UFC card sponsored and hosted by the latest inhabitant of the White House, 45-47. Hit the button.
45-47. 45-47. 45-47.
There you go.
Yes, 45-47. He of the blue reflecting pond himself that is now green, because that's how nature works, Chris. Hosted a UFC event at the People's House, and Ray was there on the ground. If you follow us on socials, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you have seen bits and pieces of Ray's trip up there. And as I mentioned, the latest edition of SBF podcast, Styles Break Fights, they also spoke about it at length. But Ray, real quick, like, what was your overall impression now, you know, a week or so later, looking back at your journey, looking back at your conversion to Red Hat Ray? What were your thoughts, your thoughts on the experience, brother?
Well, I thought if you take all the Trump out of it, I thought it was an excellent event.
Like, other than that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
Yeah. Yeah, if you take all, like, I think just the experience there at the Fan Fest, I think there were some great festivities going on at the Fan Fest. I think there were some great things that they were having. Like, I know Gerard, when he talked about affordability and also getting the most bang for your buck when you go to a show, and how when he went to All In, he felt like he got everything and then some worth his dollar. The Fan Fest was free if you were able to get tickets. There were plenty of people around when I was on the Lincoln Memorial during that Friday for the press conference. There are a lot of people that were still like, I need to get tickets, man, but I don't know how to get in. I may have to pay somebody, and then somebody let them know, it's free. And it was like, how do I do it? But you had to put in like a month in advance. I know a couple of people who did put in for the waiting list, but they didn't get the email to actually register for the tickets until late, or it went to their spam folder. But I was kind of under the impression that, of course, there are a lot of people here at the press conference because this is completely free. You don't need any tickets. Anybody can just come up if they wanted to. So, of course, there are going to be a lot of people here, but I didn't expect as many people to be at the actual event inside the Ellipse. Well, once I get there, I was surprised that, especially as the crowds were building, that, it was a very big event for people to come to. And I think if you take all the pretenses of the politics out of it, I think you can have a regular event like that. And I think actual fans of the sport will be willing to come out in droves.
Okay. Hold on, Ray. Not to interrupt you, sir. I haven't done this in a while, Chris, but just hearing Ray utter that last sentence, it brings out my inner Emmanuel Acho. So, we're going to talk about UFC 250 as a UFC event held at the White House on the behest of the president, and we're going to eliminate talk of politics and division. Let's go. It's an uncomfortable conversation, Ray.
Indeed. But I think that's when it kind of gets conflicting is when I start watching the show, and I think I told this to brother Chris. Even before the show comes on, you start hearing ads, and then one of the fans just shout out, "Hey, it's Charlie Kirk!" And then I look up on the screen, and it's a TP USA ad. I'm like, "Oh Lord!" It's like,
That'd have been wild if they had like a hologram Charlie Kirk, like hologram Tupac back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Definitely would have left. I wouldn't even stay for the show at that.
Right? Yeah. I unfortunately, first of all, it was not an excellent event. I wasn't there like they was, but it because I'm talking about, and I'm talking about the totality of everything. Yeah, there were some elements that seemingly went off without a hitch. The problem is when you're doing a MAGA event, and MAGA is your crowd, that is the element you're going to bring about. I was reading online, like the Trump people and Dana White and those losers were saying that the show got like an insane ass amount of like views. Like I want to say like 100 million or something like that. I go
on
to
Paramount Plus.
Yeah. That's what they were touting.
No way.
I went to the I think it was the Hollywood Reporter or someone with the real numbers. It was like 8 million, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do 100 million people even have Paramount Plus?
No,
no.
That was the insane. I mean, it's UFC. I mean, it's TKO, so they're in the kayfabe business. So whatever number you're gonna inflate it. I think like what I think is going to happen is because this event went the way it went, they're going to cash in this check as many times as they can while Trump is still alive in the White House. So they'll do another one probably in a year or so.
I think Nitro Circus had something on the White House grounds not too long ago. Like,
who is this?
Nitro Circus, the extreme sports group that's led by Travis Pastrana.
Wow. Why was I just about to say, is Travis Pastrana part of this? Like, you ain't said that man's name in like 20 years, dog.
Right. Exactly.
So, I mean, and it's just like, I think Bryce Mitchell said it the best. It's the government is supposed to serve. The government is not supposed to do these kind of events. The fact that, and they're saying taxpayer dollars did not go into that, but that's just a lie, just logistically.
I don't believe
by letting military personnel in for free, and the construction they did on the White House lawn. That wasn't all Dana White's money. That's just factually not true.
And to pay the National Guard and to pay Metropolitan Police Department, and there's no way. There's no way. Dana
these people ain't working for free. Shoot,
right.
And that's my problem with the whole event. And I've seen people review this, and everybody overselling it. As far as like how good for UFC was, maybe in the short term it's gonna be good for UFC. I don't think the long-term ramifications for this fuckery is gonna be it. I think this is gonna be I don't think this is gonna be remembered for this whole thing. I can already see the sailor people or whoever I get buy my next textbook for my class from, this will be in the textbook, and it's not going to be written well, I don't think, but we'll see.
And after you left, Chris, me and Jay was talking about it a little bit more, and I was telling him I think this is going to be similar, and I'm sure you guys are aware of this as well. This is going to be the Frank Lucas in the fur coat at the Ali Frazier. Like Fred,
Mm.
Fred Lucas, he was doing his business, he was doing his
Yeah,
thing.
in that kayfabe movie, American
Yeah.
Gangster.
He was doing his thing behind the scenes. He was making his money, but then all of a sudden, they were just like, "Hey, man, go ahead to the fight, man. Go ahead, wear this
Right.
coat." And now, all of a sudden, you got people looking like, "Who's this guy?
Right. Yeah.
What's this guy doing here?" I think that's a similar thing with the UFC. I think people have always had their consternations about the UFC, but now that this event has taken place on the White House, I think the left is going to definitely rally around this, and they're going to start seeking out the UFC in particular and TKO in particular when it comes to things like them trying to change and alter the Ali Boxing Act and make their own Ali Revival Act. They're going to start targeting out the UFC when it comes to like political acts or leanings that they want to lobby for, that the UFC wants to lobby for. I think this is going to put them a lot more in the crosshairs now, and now it is going to put Dana White a lot more in the crosshairs now as well.
Well, I think in the short term, it can be seen as a win for UFC in the fact that it emboldens their pre-existing audience. Not every UFC fan is a card-carrying member of MAGA, but the loudest and most fervent UFC fans these days seem to be. And so an event like this energizes them. But I think in the long term, this cannot be seen as positive because, A, for the reasons Ray says, Chris, the intent, increased scrutiny and things of that nature. But there's going to come a day, and this goes beyond UFC. This goes beyond TKO. This speaks to people in politics. This speaks to people in entertainment who are on this Trump train. This speaks to people like Sage Steele and Stephen A. Smith who dabbling with the Trump train. There's going to come a time when this is out of fashion. There's going to come a time when, as Dr. King says, you know what I mean? The moral curve of the universe is long, but eventually it arcs back to the good. There's going to come a time when the country makes that turn, and then you was all rah-rah with your man 45, 47 over here, and then he's out of style, and it's like, oh, what have we done? Because you're going to still need to make money when Trump is no longer in office, when Trump is no longer popular with his base, Dana White. You're going to still need to make money with this organization, and will you be able to win fans back that may have left, that may not feel comfortable attending your events because of who you're in bed with? And so, I think a short-term gain for UFC, but ultimately a long-term loss. My question to you, though, Ray, because not to put your business out here in these streets, because we know, we know Ray likes calcium on these streets. Ain't nobody shaming. Hey, we're not going to yuck your yum, Ray. We're not going to yuck your yum. But even as a calcium lover, amongst this crowd of calcified peoples, did the milk go bad? Did you feel comfortable? Like, I'm not even talking about as a reporter, as a journalist. Did you feel comfortable with your black ass sitting up there at this fight, Ray?
Well, I felt a little comfortable because there was more melanin in there was more chocolate milk around there. Yeah, than I originally.
Was y'all all sitting together? Like, look out for me, brother. I got you, fam.
We weren't sitting together, but there were quite a few people out there, and I felt somewhat a little bit more secure. So, and then there weren't a lot of people. Like there were the red hats out there, but they weren't tripping. Like everybody was calm and enjoying the festivities, as it were. I did wanted to go back to a quick point that brother Chris made as far as Bryce Mitchell. Although he did make an excellent point. Let's also consider the source. I don't know if you know his movies, brother Chris, but this is the same man.
I know who he is. Yeah.
Oh, you know, but for those that don't know, Bryce Mitchell, who is a current fighter in the UFC, he also tried to premiere his own podcast early last year, and on the first ever episode, this brother was talking about the hitman from Germany and how he was not a bad guy and how he would like to go and get a drink and go fishing with the hitman.
That's just
I'm like,
random on so many levels. Like, you going fishing with the hitman? Do he even know how to fish? He gonna scare the fish. Have you heard the hitman speeches? He gonna scare the fish.
Right.
Nine. You scaring the cod.
Right.
So I'm like, I think Bryce Mitchell is one of those, a broken clock gets the time right.
Yeah, I mean, the truth doesn't give a fuck about who tells it, you know.
That is true.
If it's the truth, it's the truth, you know. And I think that a lot more people in that believe in a stupid conspiracy theory is one thing, but that is a very true statement about government. I think people kind of often forget the purpose of government, what they're there to do, and how they're supposed to enhance your life in such a way to make your life more palatable. Government is not going to make your life easy. That's a misnomer about government. What government is supposed to do is implement certain things, certain elements to make you be able to travel through it better. And for decades, we, the American people, have been sold a bill of goods about government and like these falsehoods about government handouts and things of that nature. And it's we got to understand what government is. Government doesn't give out anything. Government doesn't give out that is a lie. That is a lie from the fucking pit of hell. If you've been working a job since you were 15, 16 years old, you are a taxpayer. You've paid your taxes. So anything that the government gives to you is a system that you've already paid into, right? So when your tax dollars are going to this UFC White House event and bullcrap like that, that is money that you spent into it. If you ever need food stamps for whatever reason, say you came across some hard times and you need some food stamps, that is a system that you paid into. So those food stamps are owed to you when you need them. You know, same with healthcare and Medicare and all that other shit. You know, these are systems that we've paid into. It's not the government giving us stuff, you know, and the same is true with the government, you know, like what Bryce Mitchell said. It's like the government is not there to entertain. The government is there to make sure our tax dollars are going to useful things, you know, and some racist, you know, Hockett motherfucker yelling crap about Michelle Obama is not stuff I need my tax dollars going to, you know. Unfortunately, these are the spoils of the presidency and the spoils that he gets because a whole political party is beholden to him, you know, and they're going to do, they'll have moments where they kind of pretend to change their mind, but they all go back to him, you know, and then the ones that speak out against them the loudest, they end up not being in office anymore, depending on where they live. There are some that have survived his wrath, but very few and far between.
Yeah, and I did want to mention, like I only mentioned how I think from a production standpoint, and I think John Pollock has mentioned this on Post Wrestling.
Yeah, Pollock, I got something for you too. So we'll talk later, Pollock. But go ahead,
right? I'm just saying, like from a production standpoint and how they made things look, and as far as the weather calming down and them not having any hitches in that way, that's where I say, and the fights being entertaining for the most part. Like all of the fights were entertaining, all of the fights were finishes. In that particular aspect, I'm saying it's a success. But as far as like all the other stuff surrounding it, I'm like, and like you said,
two things can be true at the same time, Ray.
Yeah, and it wasn't just Pollock, because I heard the whole reviews from everybody on the online, not Meltzer, weirdly enough, but like from Pollock, from what's his name, my dude,
Ariel
Helwani, all these. No, it wasn't really Ariel Helwani. It was the doofuses he had on his panel with him. It's like anytime you have to, when you're complimenting an event and you have to take out, like, if it wasn't for this, and this, it would have been a great event. You can't take out that shit because it happened. You know what I'm saying? It's true. Like someone coming into my surprise party and taking a shit on the floor. You know, it's like
was good.
That's alpaca. You blot that out. You don't wipe that out. You blot that out. That's alpaca.
Yeah. Frank Lucas. Yeah. But I'm just saying, we gotta like, we like. I don't know what good it does us to say, oh, this was like a good event, and then with these caveats added to them. You know, I'm not, and like, look, and this is a matter of opinion. So everyone's entitled to their opinion. I think the opinion, this is my problem with the Trump administration as a whole, is everybody gives it these kind of curves. You know, it's like you get the curve because Jesus decided to stop crying that day. He cried enough that day, and the rain calmed down. Okay, I guess, you know, that's fine. Like, it's like, and the question I ask, and you guys can answer this for me or not, I don't know. If Barack Obama was president and this event happened, would we?
It wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't have let him get away with it, dog.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think we're adding these caveats because of the idiot that's in office. It's like, yay, you put together an event, you know, like, what the fuck are we goddamn doing?
He actually achieved one of his goals.
Let's be clear, Chris. I'm not giving Trump any credit.
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you, Ray. I'm just saying the overall scuttle around this thing is just like, I'm listening to it and I'm like, man, it's gotta be like just great to be white, man. It's got to be awesome, because it's like this dude is getting all kind of curves. If Kamala Harris did this shit, man, and people would people be saying, and someone yelled some stupid shit, would people be like, because even Democrats would be on her case for that, you know? Yeah. They wouldn't be trying to defend it, you know? It's like, why are we adding these like little, giving Trump these mulligans? I don't get it. And even good people are doing it. People that I like and trust. Ariel Helwani, I don't dislike him as much as I used to. I don't want to go as far as saying I like the guy. You know, he's tolerable. You know, but I like Pollock. You know, I like you know, all the you know, the people that I've seen giving it these little hallway passes and stuff. I like these people. I just don't think it's true. You know, I just think that I think you are fishing for compliments to give it.
Well, that kind of shows you the effectiveness of sports washing, though, Chris. Right, because you can look at an event like UFC 250 as an event, like, yeah, they pulled it off. Or you can look at something like these shows that the WWE puts on in Riyadh. As an event, they pulled it off. You could look at something like when Rodman and those basketball players barnstormed in South Korea for Kim Jong-il, right? Like, as an event, they pulled it off. But then you also fall into the trap of, if I'm covering something that is clearly and obviously and blatantly sports washing, where we're using the artifice of sports to cover up and give credence and credibility to an administration, a regime that has no valuable or beneficial qualities to it, Ray. Like, where do you draw that line? Because I do see this in a situation like this where, yeah, you could talk about the fights. Yeah, you could talk about the way that they pulled off the event, but ultimately you have to talk about why. Exactly. Why was this event put on? It wasn't put on for no damn Paramount Plus Ray Williams. It wasn't put on for UFC to get this shine. It was put on for one man and one man only. And that's 45-47. And so it's kind of like, I get where Pollock and some of these cats that we respect their opinions on combat sports comes from. But it's also like, how much do you bring in? Like, again, when you talk about this upcoming Night of Champions in Riyadh, how much space do you give on your program to talking about, that match was fire, da-da-da-da-da, but also let's talk about the human rights violations that are occurring to these people in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do want to pass it over to, I'm going to give a lob up to Dr. Chris. I'm going to give him an alley-oop because he had a tremendous point that he made when we were talking about the act of sports washing on SBF Styles Break Fights. And Brother Chris, you were talking about how the aspect of it is false and the premise is false as it is with sports washing when it comes to this particular event. And just wanted to know if you wanted to elaborate with our parlay.
Okay, so we do. I'll answer this, but we have to go back because it is more apparent with something like the NBA and what Dennis Rodman tried to do with the North Koreans. That was the most.
Oh yeah.
Up until this point in American history, that was the most pathetic thing I ever seen by a human being in quite some time. Dennis Rodman, I was watching Chris Cuomo primetime on CNN. This brother was on there getting interviewed by Chris Cuomo and talking about the him meeting up with Kim Jong-un, calling this guy his friend and stuff like that.
Getting emotional, Chris.
He was crying. And he said, I tried to get Obama to meet up with Obama wouldn't even take my calls. It's like, no, he's not taking your dumbass calls, you dumb motherfucker, because you over here making friends with an enemy. Kim Jong-un is not anyone's friend. Why is and you're crying over this fucking dictator, this piece of shit, this killer? You know, like what are we got? My God, we've reached a low point. But yeah, so that was that. But at least with basketball is already a respectable kind of sport that you could kind of do that with. UFC, for whatever reason, for a plethora of reasons, like we talked about, Ray, with you and Jarek, I do think that boxing, just from a historical context, is a little bit more dangerous than UFC, just because the goal of boxing usually is to give like hard gut punches and, knock somebody out unconscious. That's not usually the goal in UFC. Like that's one of the goals, but there are other goals in UFC. And if you if UFC, if you tap out like a smart person once someone has you in a hold, it won't be long-term damage the way boxing does. But UFC operates the way it operates for a reason. People have the perceived notions of it because the origins of UFC were a blood sport. The origins of UFC is all those Van Damme movies, all those Steven Seagal movies, all of like Never Back Down, all of that, like the shit, like the Mark Dacascos movies from the 90s come to life. That's what UFC was. It was a blood sport. Dana White was smart enough to clean it up a little bit, but
human cockfighting, as John McCain once said.
Right, yeah. That taint never goes away. It just doesn't, and John McCain's point is almost kind of being proven right just because of the clientele it's attracting. Dana White was doing okay with UFC until he decided that he was going to be friends with Donald Trump and embrace him and stuff like that. I think if he would have kept his politics to a minimum, maybe you'd have a UFC that was more accepted by mainstream. But it's just hard to to sports wash the UFC just because it's already a violent sport, and its origins are a blood sport. Its origins are of like, skinny little motherfuckers fighting big fat motherfuckers. There's no weight classes or whatever. Kick them in the balls. I think I do think the early days you couldn't gouge out somebody's eye.
No. But you could choke a motherfucker with a gi. Like,
You could
elbow them in the groin several times.
You could have them bleed like buckets of blood and stuff like that. And it was smart of Dana White to do what he did to the sport. It's just when you've got I just don't see how you can. UFC is already a tainted sport. Donald Trump is a tainted president. I don't know how you sports wash that. I think the sports washing now comes from what James Dolan is trying to do with the Knicks. And these guys going to the White House, which I am adamantly against. Unless you plan on going to the White House and pissing in the corner of the Oval Office, I'm against you going. I don't think anybody. I didn't like it when my Dodgers did it. I'm still mad at Betts and
it'll be like Craig Hodges coming there with the kufi on.
Right. You got to do something if you're gonna make that trip. You got to make a statement. I don't think any of these guys are gonna do it. And the sad thing about it is to be we are pathetic. If you OKC didn't even go to the goddamn White House.
Right.
Oklahoma. I have passed through Oklahoma City several times driving I-40
never stop.
From North Carolina. Now, I've actually stopped there. It's not a place you want to be like chilling for a long time.
If you stop in a college town, you might be safe for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
It's definitely
where's OU at? Boomer Sooner.
Yeah. But like the fact that they didn't go to the White House, but the Knicks are going to the White House, if I was a Knick, I just wouldn't want anything to do with this, So are all the players going to the White House on the Knicks, or some of them, or how's that?
I don't know. I don't know if any players made any announcements about not going just yet. I do want to pose something to you, Chris. I understand that while you may not think the UFC 250 or UFC Freedom 250 event itself is sports washing, I think the sports washing, the UFC Freedom 250 event is the apex of what UFC did for Donald Trump. And I think the sports washing started after 2021 through all the stuff that he was going through. And Luke Thomas, who gets into the weeds and all this, go ahead, follow him on YouTube. Luke Thomas gets political. He gets in the weeds and all this. But essentially, it started right after January 6th when UFC, they saw like UFC, Dana White always mentions, oh, well, Dana's my friend of 20, 25 years, or Donald's my friend of 20, 25 years, so he's always looking out for me, so I'm always looking out for him. So I think it started like right after that, because pretty much like Donald Trump was pretty much untouchable after January 6th. He was losing all of the court cases. Like they were going to Mar-a-Lago. That's where he had all this classified information. Like FBI was coming down on him. But then I believe late in that year, when the UFC came to Florida, that's when UFC invited Donald Trump out. And then I think that was just the first, let's dip our toes, have him out, let's present him on the broadcast, things like that. And then like year after year, they're just gauging like the feedback from what they got. And then I think 2024, when his reputation was somewhat rehabilitated, and when he was going back out there and campaigning to become president again, that's when I think UFC was becoming even more of an entity that was helping to clean up his image. So I think through that time, that's how UFC, since UFC was becoming more and more of a mainstream sports brand, I think that's when UFC was kind of rehabilitating the image of Donald Trump, and now we're seeing like the fruits of their labor.
Okay, I see that. Here's the thing, though. UFC became more of a mainstream sports brand. I mean, UFC was never, ever a mainstream sports brand. At best, they were on. They. I don't think UFC ever left the periphery. I think they were always like on the cusp of it, but it just never got to that point. I think UFC was a sport that Dana White, I think, what my personal opinion, he got tired of all the corporate apologizing to Anheuser-Busch for, gay comments, calling someone a gay slur, doing this, doing that. It all got old to him. Donald Trump was kind of a vehicle to have to apologize less. So I think what happened is you got two toxic brands, Donald Trump, UFC, working in symmetry with each other to kind of make each other a little bit more useful to the other. I don't think UFC was ever any kind of mainstream brand. I think it was there. I think Donald Trump needed something. Donald Trump, I don't know if either one legitimizes the other. I think what they do is kind of help keep each other at a certain bar of relevancy. Like you don't even really see the same movie stars at the UFC events that you used to see in the 2010s. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like you'd see like an A-lister. I doubt you'll ever see Christian Bale at a UFC event in the 2020s. I think
like even The Rock introduced the BMF, the Bad Mofo belt, but when they sent him an invitation for this event, he was like, sorry,
I
don't want to divide the country.
I'm not going to cause division.
Right. Yeah. That was smart of him on that. So it's like, I mean, now they like who they get it. They got Jack Osborne, who I've met. Jack Osborne, nice guy. He does his stuff in the MS community out here. But going to these kind of events, man, fuck him too. Shit, I don't know this brother.
He's a nice guy, but fuck him too.
I mean, like he was nice when I met him. You see, like you heard about the MS community. Donald Trump isn't doing anything to help out like any kind of medical community. If Donald Trump threw some dollars at the MS Society or anything like that, I'd be like, oh yeah, this Donald Trump did at least this one good thing. That was the thing about all the stuff people say that Donald Trump has done that's good is always a lie. Donald Trump has not done anything good. I think the best thing he probably ever did was maybe Operation Warp Speed with the vaccine, and that was only to do that wasn't out of the goodness of his heart. At least with Bush, he did a lot of good stuff with like PEPFAR, AIDS in Africa. That was his kind of legacy to the continent of Africa, and he did a lot of good stuff. I can't even as much bad as he did in the States when it came to AIDS in Africa. He did a lot of good stuff, and poverty in Africa and all that stuff. I'll give him that. Like Donald Trump, they'll make up lies about, oh yeah, he stopped sex trafficking and all this other stuff. None of that stuff happened, man. It's just like
I I think the only other true thing like is like the First Step Act, where he was kind of reducing sentences of those nonviolent drug offenses. But other than
Okay,
that,
and that wasn't something he did either.
Yeah.
Okay, that was
right,
something.
it was already in the works.
That was something Congress put together, and Republicans decided that that would be, and it was written up by Democratic Congress people originally too, and Republicans decided it'd be conveniently good for them to sign this act, and Donald Trump signed it. I don't know if he wanted to sign it or not. He signed it. I mean, that's what you needed, a president's signature on it.
Right.
So I guess you could give him partial.
He only did it because I think Kim Kardashian brought to him.
That Alice,
and now
lady.
She's his pardon czar, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Kim Kardashian is full of shit too. This woman,
of course.
I have to say this because you brought her up, so gotta get it out of us. She was on, and this is why I don't like Van Jones, because he's such a star fucker. It's so like, he had her on his show, and she was talking about she was gonna study for the bar and pass the bar without going to law school. People have done that, but the people that have usually done that are usually people who are already like very like advanced degrees type of people. But if you're going to be a lawyer, you got to go to law school. That's just something you got to do. I don't know why. And Van Jones was saying that oh yeah, she's serious about this, and she's gonna study the bar, and I think she's gonna pass it. And I'm like, dude, I did it. I did a semester of law school. This vapid chick ain't passing anything, Dave. The only bar she's gonna pass is the bad bar to go to the next bar. That's got better. She ain't passing no bar.
Damn.
But
shout out to Van Lathan though.
Yeah, shout out to Van Lathan.
Yeah, shout out to Van Lathan.
Get us on higher learning, brother.
That's a
the Midnight Boys. Pew, 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 pew.
Right.
But real quick, because Chris did bring up George W. Bush, and we'll get back to that for the record. But I think when you talk about kind of the convergence of UFC and MAGA world, it's funny because if you look back to, like Chris said, like the 2010s, UFC may not have been mainstream, but there certainly was a cool factor to it. There certainly was something that attracted an audience that you could eventually turn into a mainstream audience with time.
Yeah,
but they were
on
two
the
paths.
periphery. I thought that if you asked me in 2005, I would have said by 2016 they'd be mainstream. I would have said.
And then what happens in 2016 is Dana decides to take a path down the other road, and then you start to see them become married with Trump and to Trump. And to Ray's point, like I think for that audience specifically, having Trump at these shows when he was kind of at his lowest in 2020 did bolster Trump's image to them. And so then it kind of becomes this echo chamber where Trump feeds into this corner of the manosphere. And, again, we cannot leave out people like Joe Rogan's effect on this, where he feeds into them and they feed into him. And so, again, Ray had a good time at this event. But I think if you were somebody, particularly somebody of color, particularly somebody who is left-leaning or somebody who's from a marginalized community who's into MMA, you don't really feel at home in this version of the UFC in a way that in 2010, 2005, 2000 even, you may have been like, you know what? UFC's in town. Let's go check it out. And so I think in the short run, again, this can be seen as a net positive for Dana White and TKO and what they're about, but it's not going to last. It's not sustainable. Because MAGA is not sustainable, despite what some people will tell you.
It's exactly like when Elon Musk finally becomes a trillionaire That's going to last for 5 minutes before all that shit, all the bubble busts on that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is. It's like, yeah, enjoy it now, but this is not going to clean up things the way you think it's going to clean up. You know, John Pollock is a Canadian, so I forgive a lot of the political illiteracy when it comes to, you know, the United States government, because our like these things are never in a vacuum with us, man. It's like if something appears like it's cool right now, I promise you it ain't gonna stay that way.
Yeah. And to be fair to John, like we have seasoned journalists here in the United States who are aware of, you know, the political ramifications of this stuff, and they have a tough time because it's like whack-a-mole, Chris. Like, do I spend 20 minutes talking about this because then I'm missing spending 20 minutes talking about this because Trump is like a shotgun, Chris. The difference there's a difference between like a shotgun, Ray. I don't know if you ever shot a shotgun, Ray, but when you shoot a shotgun, it's not a direct blow. It's pellets, and it goes everywhere. And so it's like there is so much bullshit with the Trump administration and with something like this UFC Freedom 250 event. It's like, well, damn, where do I focus? So I have my qualms with what our brother John Pollock said, but at the same time, I don't really fault him that much because it's like, damn, like it's hard enough if you know what you're talking about with this administration to stay on task because there's so much going on.
Yeah, because like that's
like this nigga just signed something to end the war that he got us into, and he's talking about we won the war. How we win the war if we surrendered? That's like your girl who wasted my time the other night. We talking about you, Gina Carano, talking about it was a good fight and a great experience when she out here tapping like Gregory Hines and Savion Glover. You didn't win, Gina. It wasn't no good experience. How we win the war when we gave up, Chris?
Well, she won just because she got her check.
She did win in that way.
Yeah, she lost 100 pounds too.
Yeah, so you know, like as far as with the like Pollock and Ariel. Well, Ariel lives in the United States now. But
we don't give Ariel no break.
Get to know our ways, Ariel. But Pollock, I mean, the thing I pay attention to Canadian politics a little bit. Politics is still politics in Canada. I think that's what people are forgetting. Like in Canada, the person that loses the election accepts they lost the election, and they're not having insurrections and all that stuff. You know,
right.
Justin Trudeau, when it was time for him to get his ass out of there, you know. He did what he needed to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same thing. You know, it's like we do not have that in the United States. The parties do not like each other.
We used to, Chris. This is the crazy thing about it, though. We used to.
Like you like there was a time where in like 2003, 2004. It'd be a normal occurrence to see George W. Bush at the Clinton Library dedicating the library to Bill Clinton, because that's just what presidents did back then, you know. But it'd be like Donald Trump or John McCain and Barack Obama could hate each other on the campaign trail, but once the smoke settled and cleared, John McCain could go up to Barack Obama, shake his hand and, you know, hug each other and be like, Barack Obama, I'm going to die soon, and I want you to be at my funeral, and I want you to speak at my funeral. That's where we used to be. I don't know if we're ever getting back there. I think we will get back there eventually, but it's, I mean, a lot of these Republicans burned a lot of unnecessary bridges that they did not need to burn, all in the service of one cult of personality.
Yep. Well, you know, Chris, you talking about building bridges to the future, maybe using some of that decorum of the past. And I think, Chris, if we ever gonna get out of this, we may need help from the unlikeliest of sources, Chris, to inspire a nation. Because Chris, you know, you a student of history. Sometimes it takes grand gestures to change the course of history, but sometimes, Chris, it can be the smallest action that sets a series of actions in motion, which leads to change. Something as small, Ray Williams, as handing somebody a piece of candy or maybe a mint or something can start the process of healing. And so we got to talk about something real quick, y'all. Because over the weekend, man, we got a new presidential center that was opened up, Chris. Shout out to Chi-Town, man. Your WNBA team might be trash, flaming trash. Somebody free Camila Cardoso. Your basketball teams might be trash, but your presidential center is amazing because the Obama Center is now open for business, so to speak. And we had the dedication, which featured all the living presidents except for one. Who could we be talking about, Chris? Who? But Clinton was in the building. Biden was in the building. W was in the building. And Obama was in the building celebrating that moment, Chris. And it just goes to show you, like, even seeing the picture of those four presidents who all at one time or another had disagreements with each other. You know what I'm saying? Particularly the Democrats with Bush. But even within the Democrats, there were policy disagreements and things of that nature. Like, seeing that picture takes us to a time in the past, Chris, but it's not that far away. It's not that far away where we can't see, like, there was a way to disagree. There was a way to even fight and go at it tooth and nail in a political sense, but there was still a level of decorum and respect for your adversaries.
Right. And I was listening to Dave Chappelle. I don't know what this was on. My wife was playing it for me. It was on Facebook. It was a clip of Dave Chappelle, and he was saying, like, looking at what Trump and them doing now, he said it kind of makes me like feel bad for ever hating Bush and all that stuff. And I was like, and I understand. Like, here, the thing with Bush is I don't think it was ever necessary to hate him. You know, Bush with me, I don't think I ever hated him. I really didn't like him or the politics of his office. I didn't think. And this is why a lot of these people like Eddie Glaude and Mark Lamont Hill and people like that thought, oh, we'll just hold our vote for Trump, because they didn't think it could get worse than Bush. You know, they were used to playing a politics as usual game. You know,
right?
When you're done playing a politics as usual game, it's like, man, I pray for a guy like Bush. But the problem with Bush is that whole administration was the catalyst for this, you know. Bush and those people, they weaponized a lot of stuff, you know. The gay marriage issue, they weaponized that. The abortion issue, they weaponized that. They did all that stuff. They just weren't as nasty as Trump. It could always get worse is the point. It could always get worse, because the thing what history can do is, and I don't think we'll get another Trump for at least another maybe 10 years or so. But when we finally do get another Trump-like figure, that person could make you miss the days of Trump. You feel me? It's like, you have to understand things can always get worse, you know. That doesn't mean Bush wasn't as bad as you thought he was. It just means that history moves in such a way where the next idiots could clean up somebody's mess, you know, or make somebody's mess worse, you know. Or if you had a older sibling, like I had a older half brother that I didn't even know, but the Ely name was attached to me going into the school I was going to, and it's like, is your dad Charles Ely? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, you automatically hating you just by knowing what just by seeing the surname and thinking you're one of those, you know. I think with what history is going to do, and I don't know. If I were Bush, I would just, you know, hey, like, Donald Trump cleaned up your legacy. even though it was a legacy of starting wars, fumbling Hurricane Katrina, not really giving a fuck about Hurricane Katrina, just kind of like Brownie and doing a hell of a job, all that stuff. But I mean, it should be a reflection time for all of those people who aren't inherently evil. Like, I don't think Bush was ever inherently evil.
No.
But now it's time to show that you weren't inherently evil. He's not going to do that because he's just relishing the fact that Bush was that Trump is so horrible that, you know, history gives him a get out of.
It is weird though, Chris, because and we'll get to our topic sprung off of this past weekend in a second. But when you talk about that, it is weird because I feel like when you look at Bush and when you look at Trump, the difference between these two is George W. Bush was a terrible president who was incompetent and unfit for the job.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at his core, he was a decent human being.
Yeah.
Donald J. Trump is a terrible president who is inadequate and ill-prepared for the job, unfit for the office, but he's also a piece of shit human being.
Yeah.
And I think the one moment where I kind of was like, are we going to get this Avengers moment, Chris, where I think the voice of George W. Bush, whatever sway you think it may or may not have had, that we needed him to be like, you know what, Laura, I got to do this, was in the election in 2024. Like, I think that was the time for W to be like, you know what, I've been silent for too long. This man, Donald Trump, he ain't shit. I got to say, if you rock with me, if I don't know why I'm giving him this type of language, but if you rock with me, if you rock with big dubs on these streets, you need to vote for Kamala Harris. You heard me? Like, I think, like, the fact that Bush has stayed silent through all of this, and Trump was talking mad shit about his brother, dog. He talking shit about Jeb, exclamation point, and Bush ain't say nothing, Chris. Like, I feel like that to me is maybe my biggest knock on George Bush in the last 10 years or so. It's like, dog, I get it. You ain't trying to be on these political streets no more. You just want to paint your pictures and do your audio books and link up with your bestie, Michelle Obama, at these functions and whatnot. But it's like, damn, dog, I wonder what impact, if any, Bush could have made if he had came out and tried to nip this shit in the bud.
Yeah, he could have probably did something. But by the way, I don't see. The thing is all the Republicans should have nipped this in the bud from the beginning. Once they saw what it was turning into, they all should have been on top of it and been like, yo, you're not going to do this to our political party. The problem is that they are also like power thirsty, you know. They were also like
they
that
thought they could control the monster, Chris.
Right, yeah, and you can't do that, you know. Donald Trump is not that kind of person. Donald Trump is a cult leader. And Donald Trump acts like a cult leader and he moves like a cult leader. So only thing, when you are the leader of a cult, the only thing that is acceptable is 100% loyalty.
Right.
Nothing else is going to be acceptable, you know? So it's like, yeah, I love you, Trump, but I disagree with you on this one thing. That's not going to work, you know? Like,
and they give you that line, Chris, like, yeah, you know, nobody's perfect, Chris. And you know, yes, I may not agree with him personally, but, you know, he's doing the right things for this country, i.e., you know, beating down on gay folks and trans folks and oppressing black folks and keeping people out in this country that should be allowed to try to make a life in this country. And it's like a lot of people have told on themselves since 2016, Chris.
Oh yeah, a lot of them, like even like the trans folks and the black folks and the Hispanic folks and the gay folks that do like him, they all think that they're the exception to the rule. Like
look, Chris, I ain't gonna lie, that I will vote for Donald Trump. Like that joint still give me to this day, Ray. Like they had the steel drums out there. We will vote for Donald Trump, and then my boy get deported right after that song hit the airwaves. Like, damn, brother, you sure you want to release that single now?
Yeah, and the sad thing about a lot of those people is they don't. If you ask them, do you regret your vote for Trump? A lot of them will say, well, no. It's like, yeah, you're that's because you don't regret your vote for him because you're in a fucking cult. That's why you don't regret your vote for him. Like this one guy, and I will never forget this. His wife, a citizen of the United States of America since she was 5 years old, she got deported for not for bouncing a bad check when she was like 15 years old. This girl, she was a citizen since she was 5 years old. They deported her when she was like 36, 37 for this bad check that she bounced. And this guy was a big MAGA, big Trump supporter. And the reporter asked this dude, do you regret your vote for Donald Trump? He said, well, no, he did what he had to do. I was like, dude, you don't love your fucking wife.
Right.
Like if you deport my wife, you take the love of my life and send her to another country. I'm not gonna be on TV. I don't give a fuck who the president was, man. that person's gonna be on my enemy list forever. You know, it's and that's how you know someone is in a cult, because what the cult leader does is they make rules that everybody has to follow but them. You know. That's why I used to love when CM Punk was doing the straight edge society in WWF, because that's how a cult moves. You know, he's like, yeah, all you guys got to shave your head to prove loyalty to me. You know, I'm not shaving my head.
Right.
You all have to do this and you have to do this. I don't have to do any of that stuff. That's how cult leaders do. You know, like David Koresh and the Branch Davidians. I thought it was messed up how the government killed them and all those people, but like David Koresh was a bad person, and what he would do is, once he became one of his Davidians, is if you had a wife and David Koresh was like, yes, it's my turn with your wife.
Let me get them thrills, cuz.
Yeah. It's like, it was that was the kind of cult thing. And it took a while for a lot of those people to wake up from it.
Rest them cheeks.
Yeah. Some people, I interviewed somebody back when I was in college.
That was terrible.
And this person is still waiting on David Koresh to come back to life and save them, you know.
You might see him at the next UFC event.
Maybe, you know,
the front row.
Yeah. I won't be there.
Look, I mean, they are. A few of them already think that JFK Jr. Is come back to life. You know, like I've seen that on those Jordan Klepper videos. There was this one guy, and this lady said, "This guy's JFK Jr." And I was looking at this guy. But now the reporter was like, "You're JFK Jr." And he was like, it was pathetic, man.
All right. I'm back, y'all. Holla at your boy. All right. Who's got my chowder?
I'm
JFK Jr., y'all.
Yeah, the only offspring that we have from that generation of Kennedys
is the
unfortunately is RFK Jr.
The worst Kennedy.
Not the JFK Jr. that would have been a great president. That was
at least we still got Maria Shriver on these streets, Chris.
We still got Maria Shriver, yeah.
I think RFK Jr. going to show up with Jack Osborne at your next MS function. Like, just drink this raw milk, y'all. Y'all be all right.
Yeah, we ain't ever getting a cure for that.
It strengthens the body. But real quick, because again, Chris, I was inspired, man, seeing the footage from the Obama Center opening, and in particular seeing the rekindling of one of history's strangest duos, the friendship, if you will, between George W. Bush and Michelle Obama. And every time I see him, Chris, I don't know how deep their friendship really go. Do they be talking to each other on the weekends every now and then? Do George and Laura hook up with Barack and Michelle and go watch a Bulls game or something? I don't know if they tight like that. But I just like seeing the pictures, Chris, because it does kind of give you hope that people that disagree on things, even strongly disagree on things, can find some common bond as human beings. And so that led me to think, Chris, who are some of our favorite dynamic duos in the history of duos, whether they be, people that are odd couple teams. Can they coexist, Chris? Or whether they be people that are bosom buddies that you could easily see being besties. And so I think we should go around the room and talk about some of our favorite dynamic duos, and just kind of chop it up. So Ray Williams, do you have a first selection for I think what we'll do, we'll go around the room. Everybody give like 3 choices for their favorite dynamic duos. Ray, who are your favorite duos in history?
All right. Well, I'm gonna preface this by saying I am not a Lakers fan. I am not a Lakers fan. I know we do have the Mayor Pro Tem and Jenny Buss's right hand man, who's right here on the show with us. But I am not a Lakers fan.
The shadow GM of the Lakers.
Yeah. I cannot doubt the effectiveness of this particular duo, and they've had their differences, and I'm glad they were able to hash things out before a tragedy occurred, which unfortunately has rendered one of those gentlemen amongst the heavens, I should say, hopefully. But that would be the
Kobe
duo.
is in heaven, dude. Hopefully.
That was a weird way to phrase that sentence, right?
Yeah, like we're not doing that.
I don't put people up there. I don't know.
We're Kobe for the sake of this conversation. We're not
yes.
this
right.
to hell.
For the sake of argument, Kobe is in heaven right now.
Yeah, he is in heaven. Yes. Okay. But yes, I'll go ahead and stay as my number 3 pair, Shaq and Kobe.
Nice. Even though there was that period where they was beefing with each other and whatnot, I think Shaq and Kobe, Chris, and you can speak more to it. Like for the run they had, it was relatively short given the length of both of their careers, but the 5 or 6 years they were together, man, that was as dominant a duo as you could think of in NBA history.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think the fact that they were able to work around the egos makes it a lot better. I wouldn't put Shaq and Kobe before Magic and Kareem as far as Lakers are concerned. But it was a good time to be a Lakers fan in the 2000s with those two, especially after the 90s we had, because we had a lot of fool's gold. I remember Jerry Buss doing that press conference in Atlanta when he scored Shaq, and that dude was glowing like the queen of the school, just like the prom queen was just like, yeah, I'm dumping my man for you, He was that happy, man. And I remember I was ecstatic too, and I remember even when we got Kobe and we traded Vlade for Kobe, and nobody really, unless you were from Philadelphia, you didn't really know who Kobe was,
Yeah.
And you're like, why are we trading Vlade for this high school kid? And
this high school kid that didn't even have a good shape up at the time.
Yeah, I know. And then I was watching an interview with Vlade Divac on Byron Scott's Fast Break, and Vlade is like, I was mad at the time, but now if I had the chance to trade for Kobe, I would have traded me for Kobe too. It's one of those things where just history answers the question for you,
right?
Hindsight is 2020. Yeah,
it always is. Yeah, but yeah, because I mean, Vlade was a raw dude. He wasn't a scrub center.
Yeah, Vlade was a good player.
Right, and I think maybe if he had a good shooting guard to play next to, during his peak.
And to be fair, they kind of had to trade him because Vlade, as good as he was, Vlade wasn't skilled enough to be a 4. I don't think, not in that NBA. He had to be a center, and you can't have him and Shaq.
Yeah, because him and Shaq play the same role. You couldn't really do a Twin Towers thing with those kind of players. Vlade
wasn't like Tim Duncan who could go back and forth.
Yeah, it was easier to do the Twin Towers things with Bynum and Pau Gasol sometimes.
Yeah.
Because Pau Gasol could easily move to being a forward, powerful. Yeah, so yeah.
Vladdy wasn't doing all that running and shit.
Yeah.
My boy smoking heaters at halftime.
Right,
you want me to do what, Coach? I'd like
yeah.
to do
If you ever get a chance to watch that interview he did with Byron Sky, he admitted to the flops and stuff. He was a man about it.
All right, so we got Shaq and Kobe for Ray's first dynamic duo. Who is your first dynamic duo, Professor?
So, I'm like, this is an honorable mention. I can't pick it because for obvious reasons, but I used to really love Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby in the movies they did with each other. Let's Do It Again.
Yep.
And,
Uptown Saturday
Night. And what's that third one? I'm blanking on that one. Uptown Saturday Night. Let's Do It Again. And
there was one more, but yeah, Uptown Saturday Night was great.
Yeah. Amazon, what are the 3 movies Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier did together?
I can't answer that question, Professor. One of those men is canceled.
The trilogy includes Uptown Saturday Night from 1974, Let's Do It Again from 1975, and A Piece of the Action.
Piece of the Action,
yeah.
Alexa, stop.
These films
Amazon, stop. That's enough. That was
Ray. I think Chris and Amazon might be my honorable mention for my dynamic duo.
Yeah, the dynamic.
Right, yeah. That was
unlikely pairing.
Yeah, but since Cosby's kind of fallen to the wayside, so to speak.
Okay.
I would say my dynamic duos would be trying to think, because there's a few. Maybe I'm torn because I'm thinking Marvin Gaye and Tammy Tyrell,
okay,
or Method Man and Mary J. Blige. I probably like more songs from Marvin Gaye and Tammy Tyrell together than I do Mary J. Blige and Method Man. But I love the songs between Mary J. Blige and Method Man, the ones they do together. So, we'll just to keep it more modern, we'll go Mary J. Blige and Meth.
Okay, Mary J. Blige and Meth for Chris's first dynamic duo. I like that, Doc. Honorable mention for me, and much in the same vein as Chris picking Sidney and Bill, I would give an honorable mention, a tip of the cap to Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, yeah.
Them boys did their thing back in the day, and it was, again, like seeing a black and white actor at that time being in films like that was, again, stuff that we talked on the last episode of the Parley about things that may not fly today. Like, people don't kind of contextualize how kind of progressive that was, Chris. Those films that those two men made together, and they were great, man. See No Evil, Hear No Evil, like, it's still one of my favorite comedies to this day, man. Like,
that's probably their last one, 1990, right?
Yeah, yep. Like that was the towards the end of their partnership. But yeah, those two, man, I think they just had a vibe and a respect for each other. So I got to give them a little props. My actual official third place for my dynamic duos is probably the first time any of us heard the term dynamic duo. Ray Williams. I'm talking about Batman's and Robin. And here's the thing, Chris, it don't matter which version you take, and they all good. I'm talking about Adam West out here doing the Batusi and Burt Ward wearing them little booty shorts. That was hot, man. Not the booty shorts, but their partnership was hot back in the day. What are you talking about? The animated series with Batman and Dick Grayson's version of Robin, man. The comics, man. Like all versions of Batman and Robin is excellent, except for the one in the Nolan trilogy where they tried to sneak Robin in at the end of the third one. And it's like, nah, buddy. No, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, you ain't no damn Robin.
The adult and stuff too. It made no sense.
And they're like, he's like, what was it? The last scene, he was at the bank or something, and they're like, what's your middle name? And he's like, was his middle name Robin?
I don't even remember.
It was either Robin or Dick. And the receptionist was like, you should go by that. And he's like, maybe I will.
That was the one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the Bane joint.
Yeah,
he was like, you ain't no damn Robin, cuz we know Robin, that ain't you.
Right, yeah. Because Batman Forever, I don't think is a horrible movie. I think there were horrible.
Oh, you think about my boy,
Chris O'Donnell.
O'Donnell, yeah, he was cool. He was cool for what he was.
Yeah,
Alicia Silverstone's lispy ass Batwoman.
Right, yeah. That was the.
It's
Batman.
ludicrous Batman. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, that was Batman.
Snagglepuss ass.
That was Batman and Robin. She was in.
Yes.
Batman Forever. Batman and Robin, I hated. Batman Forever, I thought it was a decent movie with a lot of horrible choices in it, like directorial choices in it, But
Chris, you just need to chill out, man.
Yeah.
You know what killed the dinosaurs, Ray? The Ice Age. Like, I don't know if you don't sit your ass down.
Right.
But yeah, Batman and Robin, to me, like, there's a lot of good superhero teams, but I think that's kind of the basis for a lot of those, like, established hero plus the sidekick that's kid friendly. And then if you look at the comics, now I'm stepping on OG Rachel's toes with Super Salad. Like, if you look at the relationship of Batman and Robin as Dick Grayson grew up and became Nightwing and did his own thing, and they still have a bond, but it's more like equal partners versus this grown-ass man and this little kid in the booty shorts. So, yeah, I always rock with Batman and Robin, Chris.
Yeah. Same here.
Ray Williams, who is number 2 on your list of dynamic duos, brother?
All right. Well, since you guys are throwing out honorable mentions, I'm going to go ahead and throw out an honorable mention of my own. Shout out to Key and Peele.
Okay. Let's stop for a second, Ray. Because they were actually number 2 on my list. So let's talk about Key and Peele for a second. Why do you like Key and Peele?
Well, I just love that the different levels that they come across, different topics and different situations, and also just the different ways as though they're touching on different aspects of Black life, and then expanding that upon just life in general. When it comes to, I think they were some of the first folks to kind of joke about English actors being on Black shows or Black movies, and kind of taking roles from them. And then they joked a bit about Nicki Minaj, and I just love their chemistry with one another. It's a shame. I think there's been some rumors about, I believe it was Keegan Michael Key's wife who
I seen it, cuz
helped dissolve
Yoko Ono ass.
Yeah, so that's sad that they haven't been working together as much recently. But I just loved their chemistry with one another, not just from Mad TV, but also onto their own sketch show that they had on Comedy Central.
Let's talk about it, Ray. Because here's the thing. If you on SNL, man, you got a good shot of, doing at least something after your career, making it to the movies or another series or something. You on Mad TV, you got to come up through the mud, dog. Who done broke off from Mad TV for real, when you think about it. And so seeing Key and Peele doing what they did, arguably, like at worst, Ray, it's the second best comedy show that Comedy Central's ever produced. It's either them or Chappelle Show. But number one, I give the slight edge to Chappelle Show. But Key and Peele, like, they did something that I think we haven't seen since, in that they were able to talk about pop culture, talk about race, talk about these different things, and be smart and clever with it. Like one of my favorite Key and Peele sketches is when it's the black people in the movie theater sketch, where the joke, the stereotype is black people just be talking loud in the movies, interrupting people's enjoyment. And so the lady goes in the movie theater, she looks back, sees Key and Peele back there, and she's like, just kind of rolls her eyes because she thinks there's going to be these loud, annoying black people in the theater. And then when the movie starts, they're shouting things at the screen, but it's like insightful commentary. It's like, come on, man. Why is everybody starting films in media res these days? That's so played out. It's a trope. Come on, man. Why are you shooting at those Dutch angles? Put some information on the screen, baby. And it's like they're having these real nerdy film critic type of conversation, but it's in the guise of the loud black people in the theater. Like that was great. The football name sketch is great. Like to this day. If you know somebody named Aaron, to this day, they're going to get called Aaron at least once during the day. I love their partnership and their chemistry.
Slap ass sketch too. I like that.
Slap ass, yeah, slap ass sketch. Speaking of MMA, Ray, like the MMA hype trailer sketch, where the dude like goes from his interview to the other dude's interview and chokes him out. Shh. Go to sleep.
The Tibetan monk, the
Tibetan monk, like the ushers outside the movie theaters, like Bruce Willie is my shit. I said bitch. All of them great sketches, man. Like Key and Peele did their damn thing, and it is sad because I have seen the same type of rumor, Ray, that the reason that they're not as close working together now is not just because Jordan Peele's kind of taken off and gotten to this next level, but because Key's wife is like overstepping her boundaries and controlling stuff that like you ain't the funny one, lady. Like just.
I thought Key and his wife got a divorce though.
So Key's new wife, like his wife, I think they've only been married about 4 or 5 years. So like once the show ended, he got remarried, and his new wife apparently is like in different projects that he's in. She always needs to be an executive producer and have final say and all. And it's like, lady, you ain't the star.
Right.
Your man's is the star, and so it's like he's still getting a lot of work. I mean, like he's all over the place, but he's not to the level that you would think because, according to these rumors, his wife is a headache to deal with from a business standpoint. But yeah, Ray, Key and Peele to me is like one of the funniest sketch comedy shows ever, and it was a time, brother.
Indeed, and you know what? I'm a upgrade him from being the honorable mention. We'll both have him. I think that's
okay.
We'll both have him at number 2.
Okay. Shout out to Key and Peele, man. I don't want you, but I need you. The joint where they was the jazz singers and they was beefing over a Retta. Your breath smells like an open but scoo-doo-be-doo. Yeah, man. Key and Peele was great, dog. Chris, Ray and I both given our second choices for the dynamic duos. Who was your second choice, Professor?
Yeah. So I'm a little torn with these because I got a few of them.
Okay.
But for me, it's gonna be Will Smith and Carlton Banks. And the reason why I like them a lot is because it's almost like kind of a Gilligan and Skipper relationship where Gilligan often gets on the Skipper's nerves. But their relationship is such where you could tell that they love each other, you know?
Right.
And that was one of the reasons why I hated those ride-along movies so much because, like with Kevin Hart and Ice Cube, because I never got the hit in one scene in either of those movies that those two even liked each other. Like they like why would
we the brothers-in-law?
Yeah, why would you even put yourself in that position? You know. But I thought like with Will and Carlton, I thought like, and I'm talking about from the TV show, not so much from Bel Air. Although on Bel Air they were okay, but mainly from the TV show because they
talking about Will Smith and Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah. They had a longer chance to like kind of develop their relationship. And get into like wacky hijinks together, and then even like have each other's back when the other person needed, like when Carlton, they wouldn't let Carlton into that fraternity.
Yeah, man.
Will was pissed off at him, and then when Will told him they wasn't going to let him in, Carlton got mad and was like, "How you dare you not let Will? He's full of potential." Like that. That's the kind of relationship I like.
In the words of my illustrious cousin, we gonna make like a tree and leave.
Yeah, it's like
no, Will, it's make like a banana and split. Come on.
He met Barry White, y'all.
The joint where like even the emotional moments though, Chris, like when Carlton like wanted to go use that gun.
Yeah.
And he's like, Carlton, give me the gun. Give me the gun, man. I'm not playing.
I saved your life. I saved your life. He should have let Carlton knock that fool. But I mean, that's just me.
I'm gonna say, like Will, you from Philly? You know how the game go, dog.
Yeah, let him pop that nigga, man. Nah, but Will was looking out for his best interest, Yeah. That was the kind of stuff I liked out of that, and I always kind of like measure those kind of like relationships off of that, because even like on the Jamie Foxx show, they modeled that relationship with Braxton and Jamie, that
Broham.
Right, yeah. And that's always the like, even if you're like you don't get along, the characters like are fire and ice, they're still like the connective tissue of familiarity, and we're like a family.
And Pam and Martin.
Right, yeah, Pam and Martin too. Yeah, that's a good one too. Like even with Pam and Martin, like they had their battles, but when Gina's friend came in and start clowning Pam as well, and Martin was like, "Hey, you don't clown. That's if anybody's gonna be clowning this Pam, it's gonna be me. Like you don't get to do that. I get to do that because
it's family. You don't get to we can fight, but you don't get to fight either one of us.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So that is that's what. So that for me is gonna be Will Smith and Alfonso Ribeiro, Carlton Banks, and also in Will Smith's book, he said Carlton, like Alfonso Ribeiro, gave him the best advice ever by telling him to make sure that they use your real name as the character that you're playing.
Yeah, man. And they had the little joint like I think my favorite thing was like when they did the bloopers, Chris. And they like showed like the Apache dance that they used to do.
Oh yeah, jump on it, jump on it,
Apache, jump on it. Or when just seeing the two of them break each other up, like and make each other laugh. Like you could tell, at least at that time, like there was this kinship on screen and off screen between Will and Alfonso.
Right, and they're still like doing things together too, like even like when they were done filming the show, Carlton was in the Wild Wild West music video. They appeared on the Graham Norton show in England together.
It was Will, Jaden, Alfonso, and Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah, and who was I think Bradley Cooper was sitting there with them too. I don't know.
Yeah,
someone else was there, but that's cool to see that they've developed that all the time, and they defended Will as much as they could after he did the smack to Chris Rock, but
See, if Alfonso had been there, it wouldn't have went down because he'd have been like, "Put the hand down, Will. You owe me, Will. Put the hand down. Don't slap him, dog. Don't do it.
Right,
I'll save your career. You owe me. I'll save your career. You owe me."
And I've always, even after that smack, because Will Smith really could have been an asshole about it and be like, I ain't sorry about that, and what, and people would have had his back, but when you do something like that, the only thing you can do afterwards is apologize and admit full fault. And hopefully one of these days, I don't know if it'll happen on Chris Rock's end, and I don't blame him if it doesn't, but hopefully, they can find a way to get along again. That whole situation was just weird and awkward.
Yes.
The Jada Pinkett and her entanglements and stuff.
Yes.
Just all that shit, man. August was what? My God, man, that's just.
Was it an entanglement or were you entangled?
I don't know what the hell they were, and then talking about it on the red table.
Yeah, man, just made that brother look weak.
If that was my wife, I was like, look, wife, it's bad enough you slept with this teeny bopper. I ain't talking to you about this shit on no red table.
Right. You ain't using me for clicks.
Yeah, I've already agreed to stay with you. That's enough, we ain't going.
Now you done got this man out here talking about I get bizarre. Like, Will, come on home, Will.
Yeah,
it's okay, brother. Even though I'm an action star, I've been known to get bizarre. Is you okay, Will? Is you okay? But no, that's a hell of a pick, Chris. That's a really good pick for your second place dynamic duo. So here it is, Ray. There can only be one number one. Who is your all-time favorite dynamic duo, and why is it Toxic Attraction? And that's a trio, Ray. They can't be your number one duo.
All right. Well, there's always hope for next year. My dynamic duo was a pair of brothers who, in the 1990s, was a part of one of the most influential R&B bands / R&B groups of all time.
Okay.
And then they branched out on their own together as brothers. And they came out with songs that people will be playing at their weddings for decades upon decades, generations upon generations. My number one dynamic duo goes to Casey and JoJo.
Nice.
For a second, I was almost afraid you were going to say Nick and Drew Lachey. So glad you hit me with the Casey and JoJo. I agree.
I could never find another lover sweeter than you, sweeter than you. Girl, you are. Because, Casey go over the top all the time. Close to me, you're like my mother. Close to me, you're like my father.
I like the song they did off of Life, too.
Life.
Story.
Somebody done tell me wrong. Like KC, that brother always coming hot.
Down, KC. True story. So this is, I want to say, my senior year in high school.
Okay.
This was
during punk rock, Ray.
Kind of punk rock, but and I think we talked about this as well. This was when Save the Last Dance. I think it was out on DVD, right?
Yes.
And I used to always love the song "Crazy" by Casey and JoJo, right? And so there was a girl who I liked, and for Valentine's Day, I tried to get her like
Samantha,
some things together.
Becky Sue.
And then not Becky Sue.
Gwyneth.
No. Stop it. She was of the culture. She was not traditional.
My bad, Ray. I was up there with your game, dog.
Chocolate milk, brother.
Okay.
Equal opportunity. But I printed out, and you know how hard it was back then to get on the internet and go to like lyrics.com, print something out. I copied and pasted. And I changed some of the lyrics because I'm like, I'm too young for love. I can't say I love you just yet, but I like you. I changed some of the lyrics around, and then I said arranged by.
Wow. You gave yourself a credit already.
And so I gave her like some, I don't think I gave her, I gave her like some chocolates and stuff, and then I gave her the lyrics of the song.
How'd that turn out for you, Ray?
It didn't turn out too
Oh man,
Damn, player.
That's her problem, man. Yeah.
I should have performed it though.
You're right. If you'd have sung it, you might have won.
I think so. I was too shy.
Just get you a smoke machine walking down the hall to a locker. Ooh yeah.
And we took the same bus home too, so I should have had a performance ready for the bus.
Just choreography.
Mm-hmm. Had my boys in the background. It was not to be.
Be like, what was that? The Temptations movie where like they back then they called it serenading. Today they would call it harassing, where they were just singing to that girl the whole way home. Earth angel, would you be mine? Boo, boo, boo. Like, I'm just a fool. Like, you could have did that on the way home on the school bus, right? A fool in love with you. Right. With your boys.
It was a different time, y'all. It was a different time. You could just sing to a woman and she not pull out mace.
You could sing a whole song, chorus, verse, everything, bridge, all the way home, and you wouldn't get accused of harassment.
Right. Those were the days.
Those were the days.
But yeah,
a simpler time, Ray. A simpler time, if you will.
So shout out to Casey and Jordan, and let's not forget, how does it feel with and not D'Angelo, but give it up with the brother in the band.
The Tupac joint.
Yeah,
how do you want it?
That video, how you want it? Yeah, that I heard that video was very epic. So how do you want it?
How do
you feel? And KC just hooting and hollering all the way to during the fade out. Yeah. How do you want it? KC, song is over, brother.
See, my favorite song from them. My favorite song from them is "Tell Me It's Real," and then of course you got the part with Casey like, "Tell me it's real, the feeling that I feel."
I'm telling you, boy, that powder.
I'm like, okay, Casey, we get it.
That powder enhances your performance, allegedly.
You know it's real, Casey.
No, that's a good one, man. Shout out to KC and JoJo and all of Jodeci, Dalvin, Devontae.
Yes.
Yeah.
Devontae, sing it again.
Yeah, I still remember that episode of Martin on the Varney show.
Tracy, JoJo.
Yeah, he goes on the stage.
Ooh yeah, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone.
Man, that was I was laughing so hard at that, man.
Yeah, man, that was a great episode of Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude said that he didn't know Martin was going to do that when they were filming that.
Yeah.
He said he just came up and started doing that.
You can tell just like the initial look is like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Oh man, boy, man, and lately though, that's probably my favorite Jodeci song. Lately I had the strangest feeling. Like they all soft and sensitive, and then of course KC gon' KC. I'm a man of many wishes. Hope my premonition misses. All right, brother. Damn. But no, that was a good one, man. Stevie Wonder joined the day remix. That was good. But yeah, KC and JoJo, excellent pick by you, Ray Williams. Chris, who is your number one dynamic duo of all time, Professor?
Yeah, I could have went a lot of different ways with this. Could have been like Beavis and Butthead, or Bugs and Daffy, whatever. Could have gone. I'm gonna go back to television. I'm gonna go the Full House route. But not the Olsen twins. But I'm gonna Uncle Jesse and Joey. I like watching Full House back in the day, and the only reason why I like watching them together, like when they did the radio DJ stuff, and they always were looking for jobs, man. And
Yes.
that was my life all throughout the 2000s.
Wasn't they like making jingles for the longest time?
Jingles and shit, yeah, like getting fired from shit all the time. That was one of that's my favorite season of Martin too, was when he was when he lost his job and was going on all those interviews.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was going through that shit, man. That was not a fun time, you know. And just like, so yeah, I always thought that those two, just for whatever reason, I thought they had like scenes that played out real like funny with each other.
You
know,
Danny Tanner was sick of their ass. I got to pay for my
know,
daughter's
like,
Andy's grown ass man.
Yeah. Let these fools in the house. And they'd always respond to like the courtiness in a certain way, like when they thought DJ was getting drunk with her friends or some shit, and, you know, all kinds
Kimmy Gibbler trifling ass.
Dealing with her and stuff.
That's a good one, man. Not Danny Tanner, Joey. It was Jesse Katsopoulos and Joey. Was it Gladstone?
Yeah. His original name was Jesse Cochran, but then the
OJ trial happened.
Well, they said he wanted to get a last name that highlighted his Greek roots.
Okay, shout out to that, man.
They went to Katsopoulos or whatever.
And they still cool because when was it last year or the year before when Stamos showed up with the bald cap in support of Joey?
Yeah. Joey got his cancer diagnosis, which I think is in remission now. So
okay, good. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and George and Easy, I could have shouted them out.
Doctor was like, "What do you want us to do about this cancer?" He was like, "Hey, man, cut it out."
Yeah.
Even I thought that was too far, Ray Williams. But yeah, I am glad to hear that he is in remission, Chris. But yeah, this one was tough because, like you said, George and Weezy. Like if we're just sticking with TV, like we could do a whole list just based on TV, like Laverne and Shirley, Shlemiel Schlemazel. Like we talked about the Odd Couple. Like you got to give respect to the original Odd Couple, Oscar and Felix.
Yeah. Carl Winslow and Steve Urkel.
Yeah. That again, that was another one, kind of like Carlton and Will, where Carl was like annoyed by this little kid, but he actually loved Steve more than Steve's own parents loved Steve.
Right. Yeah.
He had Steve's back.
Yeah, and I was actually watching Family Matters again with my sister, and I actually did, because Steve used to get on my nerves. But once I was watching the reruns again, in the episodes that I didn't watch towards the end, I actually liked Steve and Laura's relationship a lot, how it started to evolve,
Right.
I thought that was like interesting as well.
Speaking of Key and Peele, that was another great sketch with Reginald Bell Johnson and Jaleel White.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
Did I do that?
Yeah.
But for my number one dynamic duo of all time, man, this is tough. Because you could go to music like Ray, you could go to TV like Chris. I could just take the easy way out and say it's George W. Bush and Michelle Obama. But my number one dynamic duo of all time, Ray Williams. I had to think long and hard about this one.
You're stalling.
But it's called setting the mood, Ray. The anticipation is killing people. But my number one dynamic duo of all time, Ray Williams. Because I could go back to basketball, throw in like LeBron and D Wade during that Heat run. But I am going to go with a gentleman that's already been mentioned, along with another gentleman that's already been mentioned. You mentioned Martin Lawrence, Chris. You also mentioned Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Williams. This shit just got real, man.
Mm-hmm.
Bad boys, bad boys.
Oh,
What
yeah.
you gonna do? What you gonna do when we come for you? Snip, stuck, snow, no way. Bad Boys, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, man. Like, here's the thing about Bad Boys. I even watched the last Bad Boys, Bad Boys 4, which should have been called Bad Boys for Life, but it wasn't.
Yeah, they
Bad
should have
Boys
switched
3.
it without. Yeah, exactly.
They should have switched it and not told nobody.
That. Yeah,
but like even seeing them in Bad Boys 4, like that chemistry is still there. And like, yeah, Martin is a little older, Will's a little older, but like that partnership of these guys that love each other, but they also be getting on each other's nerves, man. Like they also down, like, we ride together, we die together. Bad Boys for Life. Like, I loved the fourth Bad Boys movie, man. Shout out to the man Reggie on these streets, Ray. But yeah, just from that original comedy, which people don't know, the original Bad Boys. Do you know who they were supposed to be, Ray? It's gonna blow your mind.
It was the white guys.
Yeah. I want to see if Ray can guess.
How you say white guys?
Yes, and it's not even the white guys you probably would think.
I heard something about John. It wasn't John Lovitz.
The original Bad Boys was supposed to be John Lovitz and Dana Carvey, cuz.
Yeah.
Like, wow. We went from John Lovitz and Dana Carvey to Will and Martin, dog. And the world is a better place because of it.
Indeed.
Right, yeah. Like, I think you could have did John Lovitz and Will and Dana Carvey in a different movie, not Bad Boys.
Yeah, not Bad Boys.
Because
you can't have them going through Miami shooting up a bunch of Jamaican people. That wouldn't fly.
Right, yeah, and even like what's his name? I doubt that was probably in the original script too. But even that scene where in the first Bad Boys, where Will Smith is running with his shirt unbuttoned, see all his muscles. That's the scene that turned him into a movie star. You know, if it's not Will Smith and Martin, a lot of trajectories could might have been different. And Martin Lawrence actually became a movie star, not to the level of Will Smith, but
he had a good run.
Star after that, because he had like Blue Streak and stuff like
National Security.
National Security. Those big Mama House movies made a lot of money.
Yep. And people forget it's easy to forget now looking back at it, but Martin Lawrence was actually the bigger star at the time.
Yeah, he got top billing. You know, they didn't start. Like, once the third one came out, you had no choice but to give Wilson top billing at that point. But yeah, in the first movie, that because Martin was the one that they originally came to with this movie, and Martin asked for Will Smith to be his co-star.
Yep,
you know?
People don't know that. So yeah, man, like Martin and Will, to me, like, buddy cop is a tried and true formula in Hollywood, but I think Bad Boys, like, you can give a tip of the cap to Lethal Weapon or 48 Hours, movies like that. The other guys, but to me, what's the other one? 21 Jump Street. But I think Bad Boys to me is the perfection of that buddy cop formula, because at the end of the day, those guys actually do love each other.
Yeah. Because I mean, like that formula existed. I think, like you said, it was perfected by Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. I like that movie with Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal from the 80s. I'm blanking on the name of it, but it was a good movie. But yeah, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, because even Eddie Murphy and the Nick Nolte movie.
Yep.
Another 48 hours. Yeah, those were good movies. But yeah, I think Will, and it was two black guys too. It raised the stakes.
And it's like, it's funny because over the course of the four movies, they've kind of switched positions a couple different times, where at first Martin was the straight man and Will was like the wild card. And then you get to a movie where Martin's the wild card and Will has to play it a bit more straight. And then by the time you get to the fourth one, they're both kind of adept at playing whichever role they need to, given the plot of the film.
Right. And also shout out to the fourth one too, because I really hated that scene in Bad Boys 2 where they're threatening to rape Reggie.
Yeah.
It did not make me feel good. I mean, I understand fathers are protective and all that.
Like a child,
I just never liked that.
14, the nigga looked 30.
Yeah, but by the time by the last one, they gave him that arc where he's taking down all those.
Yeah, that was cool, man. When Reggie was like taking out the whole squad that came to get him, and then salutes the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Bad Boys,
man.
That
was awesome. I love that, and I love that callback. And I think they probably got a lot of criticism. As a matter of fact, I know they got some criticism for that in Bad Boys too. And they went and they fixed that, and I thought that was cool that they did that.
Yeah, they fixed everything except for Gabrielle Union because she ain't never been back.
I know, man. It's so fine too, man.
That's your I get it that her and Will's character ain't together, but that was your whole sister, Martin. What happened to your sister?
Yeah, they did the TV show with her, and it didn't.
Oh yeah,
pick up.
It didn't work.
But I thought it was a decent show. I thought if more people knew about it, it might have did better. If they had more callbacks to the original Bad Boys. Because you can't go wrong with Jessica Alba or Gabrielle Union,
And that original Bad Boy soundtrack too, Ray. Woo!
Yeah.
And Shy Guy joined. Oh Lord, say mercy. My God, on the party.
My wife is watching in the living room. I guess she sent me a message. We were talking about Kenan and Kel yesterday, and I'll put Kenan and Kel at my number one.
Oh, here we go.
All right. But yeah, man, that relationship and the fact that, and that's the good thing about having a franchise if you're an actor, because you could have 50 flops in a row. But if you always have a franchise
Bad Boys
back to it doesn't matter, man.
Yep.
You will always be a movie star.
You can slap a motherfucker on live TV and always come back to Bad Boys.
Like I'm still like Will Smith. I know he's got another one or two Aladdin movies in him.
That should have been the whole apology to like, Will, do you have anything to say after this? And just have Will just looking. He should have gone on 60 Minutes or something, Chris. Right, like the day after the Oscars. Will, do you have anything to say for yourself? And just Will just looking real contrite and just, yes, first thing I want to say to the whole country that watched what happened last night. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad Boys 3 in movies this summer. Thank you. Good night. And everybody been like, you know what? Will's all right with me. I don't give a damn what he did. We getting the Bad Boys back together. And the fact that they got the captain still, like the captain been dead for 2 movies, but he been in both of these last 2 movies.
Yeah, exactly.
On the damn video,
Joey
Payne.
Yeah.
Don't pretend to be happy for
Don't
him,
pretend
Joe
to be happy for Joey Pantoliano. Hey, if you're watching this, I'm probably dead, but I need the Bad Boys to solve this mystery. Go get them, Bad Boys. It's like giving you orders from the grave, from beyond. He in heaven with Kobe, R.I.P.
And they retconned his son killing dude.
Yeah.
Because I was like, how are you gonna make this guy a good guy after?
Right.
And they tried to make peace with it in the last one.
You know what I like about the last Bad Boys? Because it looked like in the third Bad Boys, Chris, they were about to like turn the franchise over to the kids and still have Will and Martin, but have them be in the background while the kids took over. The kids are still in the fourth movie, but it's still Will and Martin's show.
Yeah, you there's a ways you can pass the torch, but I don't think people are tired of seeing Will Smith and Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, no, we got they could do at least 2 more Bad Boys. I think if people still want to see it.
Yeah. And who's the girl? Vanessa Hudgens, is that who it was? Yeah, I like her. Yeah, she's cool, man.
My only thing I hate about Bad Boys 4 is they killed John Sally's character. Like, come on, dog.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You killed my boy. But anyway, that is our dynamic duo. Shout out to Michelle Obama and George W. Bush who are leading the way to this conversation. But finally, that conversation takes us away from the streets of Miami, Chris. It's too violent on them streets. I don't like them streets. It raises my blood pressure. Let's take a walk. A walk down to a pond. And there's some ducks out here, Ray. They looking a little hungry, though. I think it's time to feed them. Hit the music. Because it's time to feed the ducks. This is how we end every edition of the Parlay. We go around the horn. Everybody brings a question to the table, be it silly, be it serious, be it random, and we talk about it. So let's start with our very own Mike Lowry out here. Ray Williams, what question do you have for the group? You stay ready. You ain't got to be ready, Ray.
I know. Usually I am ready, but now.
Today I'm not ready at all.
Well,
I'm out of school now.
Well, now it hit me though.
You got one, Chris?
Well, yeah, I got one.
Okay, we'll let Ray ponder for a little bit.
No, I got one now.
No, your moment is past, Ray. Your moment.
No, here you go, Ray. Go ahead. Go.
When opportunity's at the door, you got to open it, Ray. He was too slow.
If you got it at the top of your dome, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ray.
I got it. Since we were talking about how conflicting it was for me to be at the UFC event, I was going to pose to you, gentlemen. Was there a particular event or a particular place where you guys have went to where you felt conflicted of being there in some way or form or fashion? And to the extent you guys can explain, but was there an event or was there an outing that you guys have went to that you were kind of 50-50 on while being there?
Okay, good question, Ray. Before we get to the answers, can you turn down the music just a smidge? It came in a little hot like KC. Thank you, Ray. I think that was just the automatic fade out. But anyway, Chris, Ray said, has there ever been a place where we felt a bit uncomfortable or out of place? What's an example for you, brother?
All I gotta say, Ray, is welcome to journalism, because that is the story of my journalism life. Man. I've been in so many situations where, and this is for, I was considering giving up on this field right up until I met Marcus and Dave. It was like, okay, there's something to this, and things are becoming more independent or whatever. But yeah, man, I've had to interview so there was this one time where I was interviewing this guy who was a jailbird, so to speak, but he was not in jail anymore. He was out of jail. Okay. Not the booty warrior, because everyone thinks did this story. I'm talking
Police
about
Johnson, the booty warrior.
Yeah, I'm not talking about him. But it was
he's like, we can do this the hard way or the easy way, Chris.
Yeah, it was a similar kind of booty warrior. And I was talking to him, interviewing him. I didn't want to take the job, and no one else was fucking taking it.
Right.
And I was still a student, so I was like, all right, well, fuck, I'll talk to this guy. And he tells this story where he's in jail and how he used to, rape guys in jail, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so he tells this story, and I was like, so essentially you were raping guys in jail. Is that what I'm getting? And he goes, well, I wasn't raping guys. They would just willingly give it up to me. And I was like, yeah, but if you're saying we could do this the easy way or the hard way, and they willingly give it up to you, they're giving it up to you under duress because they're threatening to beat their ass if they don't do it.
Right.
And this guy goes fucking crazy, starts yelling and throwing shit and stuff. I don't even know if I got to the third or fourth question. And yeah, that was pretty fucking uncomfortable.
Damn.
I was like, this is what comes with being. I wasn't afraid I was gonna get beat up or anything, but there was people there,
right?
And I was still in the stage in my life where I could throw hands if I wanted to. But it was when something like that happens, you're still kind of shaken after it happens. It's like,
yeah.
for a good week, I was just like, man. And you start questioning yourself, like, did I ask the wrong question, or what I do wrong, and all this other stuff. And yeah. So it was that.
Damn.
There's a couple other ones. I'll save those for another show. But yeah, that was probably the one where I couldn't sleep for some weeks. And me and my girlfriend at the time had just like broken up. So, I start questioning like everything about my life during that time. And that interview didn't help me out. Looking back on it, it's kind of like, yeah, I asked a good follow-up question. And, that's the kind of question you ask when someone is admitting to raping motherfuckers, So, yeah, that's it. That's it for that, Ray.
Chris was like, my booty is mine. It belongs to me. You cannot have my booty. And shout out to the Boondocks, man. That episode is a classic.
Right, yeah.
I know who you are, Chris Hansen. But see, I called you Chris Handsome. Oh, yeah, that is wild. Like the fact that episode was based on a like true, actual human being is wild, man. But right, I'm glad you made it out of that situation, Professor.
Oh, yeah. Again, I was in a protected environment. It's just like when someone goes crazy on you in an interview like that, it's really hard to kind of think fast, And I don't even know if we ever air, what I don't know what USC did with that interview or whoever.
Right.
That was. I don't know if it even exists anymore. But yeah.
Damn. But yeah, Ray, this question, when you asked it, like it's a good question, but it's also a hard question to answer. Because if you in journalism, if you're a black person in journalism, if you're a black person in America, you done been in some spaces where you feel uncomfortable or not part of the in crowd, if you will. I'm gonna talk to you about a time. This is before Nate, was a bit more evolved and worldly. It was freshman year of college up in Boston, Massachusetts, right? And I would say this was our orientation, and we were talking about historical figures. Now, keep in mind, I knew a lot about Julius Caesar, man, like Greek and Roman history. Like that was some of the stuff I liked in high school. So I knew all about Caesar and them boys, man. One thing I did not know, which, should be evident now if you're looking back at history, I did not know Julius Caesar's, shall we say, intimate proclivities in the bedroom, right? I didn't know how Caesar got down. And so, I'm thinking Caesar like this, straight heterosexual conqueror, right? That's how Julius Caesar in my mind was, okay? And so I'm in this classroom, and we talk. The topic was, it may have been during Pride Month. It was like the great LGBTQ figures in history. Now, keep in mind, I'm in Boston, Massachusetts. It's during Pride Month, and at least 50 to 60% of my classmates are LGBTQ. Good information to know when you gauge their reaction to my reaction. Because the professor's like, all right, our next figure that we're going to talk about during this study is Julius Caesar. And my immediate reaction, I couldn't stop it, Ray. You ever had something come out your mouth, ejectocito, cuz, before you could stop it? Because I was like, again, I'm 17, 18 years old, and I'm, in my mind, Chris, like, thinking Julius Caesar, this conqueror of Rome, manly man. He only sleep with women. He conquers these women. And she's like, all right. So our next figure that was historically part of the LGBTQ community, Julius Caesar. And the first thing out of my mouth, Ray, I was like, Julius, no! In this classroom, in this lecture hall, Julius, no! Was my immediate reaction to this revelation, Chris. And you never seen so many white eyes turn and look at me in unison at one time. And I had to, Chris, I can scramble on my feet a little bit when it comes to, language and putting sentences together. I was like, Julius, no! Everybody's looking at me. Professor's like, is there something you want to say, Nate? And I was like, I had to scramble, Ray. Like, how do I get myself out of this? How do I get myself out of this without appearing ignorant or homophobic or all of the above? And I'm like, well, because Caesar was such a terrible conqueror, and there was a reason why Brutus and them killed him, because he was bad for the Roman citizens. And so I would not want to associate that with the LGBTQ community, because we don't need those type of people in that community. And then the teachers, boy, I was tap dancing like Gregory Hines, Chris. I was scrambling, brother, like Randall Cunningham against the New York Giants blitz. And so I said all that. The teacher's like, okay, that's an interesting way to look at it, but can you please refrain from outbursts? I was like, yes, ma'am. I was just, I'm just here. We all together, man. And whatever you do with your life is, you just got to be a good human being. That's all I'm trying to say, man. Like, no, Caesar, no. And then everybody went back to what they was doing, and I was like, he's saving the mute.
Yeah, got out of that
boy. It would have been on, man. Because here's the thing. Again, I was not as evolved as I am now, Chris. Because there was still some things about the LGBTQ community that I had to learn, and just kind of changing opinions, changing views, things of that nature. And so at the time, had I known then what I know now, I would not have been so shocked that this man Julius Caesar was a part of that community. But yes, Ray, it was a time in my life where I was like, ooh, not only was I like one of the few black students in this class, in this school in Franklin, Massachusetts, I was part of the straight contingency in this class that was majority LGBTQ. And I was the only one in the class that apparently didn't know Julius Caesar was playing for both teams. So I was like, whew, got out of that one, Ray. But Ray, you asked the damn question, brother. When is a time other than UFC 250 where you've been like, I don't know about this, guys?
So I think there are a couple times that takes me back to when I was working as a security officer for a university in Washington, D.C. And coincidentally, that's where I parked to go to UFC Freedom 250. And I'm like, Sunday they got free parking, so let me find a spot in it. And they close by anyway. So there's one story that I always tell, but then there's another story that I rarely tell. So usually at the dormitories, they'll have us set up like in front of the building in case students come in. They have to tap their student ID card, and they can just come on. If they have guests, they have to sign in the guests. So and in that particular week, there was like an APB, like an all points bulletin out for a particular gentleman. They're like, if you see this man, call like campus police immediately. Let us know. And they had like his picture, and I think he was wanted for some assault of some kind, right? And so usually when we get those APBs, it's just like, man, we probably never gonna see these people again, or somebody else gonna catch them. It ain't no way we gonna actually catch them, right? So I'm just sitting in there, but I always have like a decent memory, right? So I'm sitting there, it's overnight, so I'm sitting at one of the dorms, and then all of a sudden, gentleman comes in. I was like, okay, you look familiar, brother. And then he was like, yeah, I'm just waiting on a friend. I'm just waiting on a friend to come sign me in. Do you know what I need to do? I was like, just stand by here, see if you could call the friend, and then they'll come down. They can sign you in as long as you got picture ID. Mm-hmm. And so their friend, their host for the evening, comes down, signs them in. I check out the information on the ID card. I was like, oh Lord, this the dude, right? and then and it's a dude they've been looking for, like one of the dudes they've been looking for, and it's even worse because the brother is non-traditional. So now I'm like, oh Lord, now I got to call this dude.
Damn,
so,
Ray.
So I go ahead, I'm like sign him in as normal, try to play it off, play it cool. As soon as he gets through like the elevator and gets up to the room where
he's like Tom in that gift calling the FBI.
Yeah, like, hey, y'all never believe. Is this still so? And we got to make sure that the APBs are like still valid because sometimes they might expire. So I was like, is this still valid? Are y'all still looking for him? And they're like, yeah, we are still looking for him. I was like, come quick, I got him now. and so they come by, and I got like the information on the sign-in sheet, and so like 4 or 5 campus police officers come in, and I think they also call like Metropolitan PD too.
Oh damn!
To come get it, yeah, because it was like serious, right? And so they go get them, right? They bring them down, and like I'm just like no eye contact.
I know it was you, brother.
What's over there? Are the sofas all right over the TVs? So, it was like I had to do my job. On the other hand, I was like, oh man, I ain't want to be no snitch, but it's like my job is to be the snitch. And
right.
So like, sorry, brother.
Like, come on, brother. It's supposed to be us, man. We all we got.
Hey, brother, if you do the crime, you got to do the time. I can't.
How you gonna call them the police on me on Martin Luther King Day, brother? This ain't the dream, right? Like, how do you know my name, criminal? Ray started talking all proper like Braxton. You need to leave, sir. Be gone, sir.
Be gone.
This is a place of learning.
Someone get this ruffian out of here, off of the premises.
Get this chickaboo away from me. Damn, right? Oh, man, that's crazy. Did you ever see that dude again in your life?
No. But I don't even think I would know what he looks like now.
That man's still in jail right now. He know what you look like every day he wake up.
I ain't in the
One
city
of these
no
days.
More. You gonna have to come find me, bro. I ain't in the city no more.
Hey, Ray, I hate to tell you, but you on an internationally known podcast right now.
Internationally known. Well, I didn't say which university. I didn't say which dorm. So
you did. You covered your tracks, dog.
Do what you may, yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. My boy Ray I know you was shook too. As soon as he walked upstairs, like, what do I do?
Exactly.
Damn, that's a good story, Ray. That's a good story, man. All right, Doc, what do you got for the group, man?
Okay, so the question I want to ask is, which actors do you think were the biggest snubs when it came to getting Oscar nominations? So not even people who got nominated and didn't win, but people who should have got nominated for roles and didn't even get nominated. You know?
Okay. That's a really good question. I'll go first because, at first I thought you were going to go the route of which nominees that got snubbed, because we've talked about that a little bit before. Like obviously like Denzel for Malcolm X, or Angela Bassett for Best Supporting Actress in Black Panther. But in terms of people,
Spike Lee for Malcolm X too.
Spike Lee for Malcolm X, yep. But in terms of people who didn't get nominated, I think I'll stick with Black Panther, because I think you could have made the argument. Granted, it's a genre movie, and at that time, even still now, it's hard for genre movies to kind of get that acceptance, Chris, from the Academy. But I would say Ryan Coogler probably deserved a nod for Best Directing for Black Panther, and I could think you could make a case that Michael B. Jordan should have got a nod for Best Supporting Actor, because without Killmonger, that movie doesn't resonate in the same way.
And
So, yeah.
I also think all the stars should have got nominated.
Yes, yeah, man. Yeah. That's what Ray said to that dude when the cops were hauling him away. Motherfucker, I don't even like you. Corrupt the man's heart with a gift. Like, why are you talking to me like that? And Ray's just like, I remember when you was conflicted. The evils of Lucy was all around you. Like, why are you speaking like that? Random security guard? Craig Robinson looking at security guard? Oh, Ray, who do you think should have got nominated for an Academy Award that didn't?
That's the thing. It's hard for me. Like I could barely remember like folks who
besides
got
The Rock
nominated
for the Smashing Machine.
The way Chris was talking, Chris thought he was gonna get nominated.
I thought he was going to get nominated. I don't necessarily think it was a snub that he didn't get nominated,
right?
But I thought that was his best shot out of the movies he did so far, where he was going to get a nomination.
Yeah, and he did get nominated for a Golden Globe.
Yeah. I didn't think he was going to win it. I thought he would get at least a nom.
At least be in the mix.
Yeah, I just can't think of folks who didn't get nominated who were like pegged to actually win. Like I
they don't have to be pegged to win. They just people that you thought a performance that you thought was good and should have gotten nominated.
Julia Stiles and Save the Last Dance.
Yeah, like Julia Stiles and Save the Last Dance.
The way she danced at that.
Zoolander.
Where was she trying to get accepted to? Was it Juilliard, Ray?
I think so. It was Juilliard.
That way she danced in that scene to get accepted in the Juilliard. She should have got a nomination for that, cuz.
Dang it. I can't think of I don't know if I could think of anybody that really comes to mind.
That's a good question. Like, you don't, like, who was, like, what were the good movies? Who was not nominated?
Right. Yeah.
I think All the Stars is a good pull, too, though, because I wasn't even thinking about, like, songs from movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. Man, I might just go with
did Macklemore have a song in any movies?
I might just go with The Rock and Smashing Machine.
Hey,
just because I can't think of nothing else.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I thought he could have gotten. I thought that was his best, most Oscar-worthy performance. If Gridiron Gang was like a slightly better movie, I thought he could have probably gotten.
No, that's your actual answer, Ray. You think The Rock should have been nominated just for that one scene in Gridiron Gang?
Oh yeah.
When did you learn to forgive your old man, Coach? I just did.
I know this guy who I always follow on YouTube. He does a lot of movie like box office stuff. Dan Merrill. He always talks about Toni Collette from what's that horror movie?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the horror movie.
What's it called? Not Belighted. It's something Hereditary.
Okay.
Yeah.
He says she had a tremendous performance, but
right.
I'm sure you brothers are kind of aware, especially growing in like Christian households and not dealing with like the heebie-jeebies. If you see something coming up, like I watched Hereditary. It was a fine film. I watched it all up until they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do a seance to bring your sister back." I was like, "No, I don't want none of that hoodoo." Yeah,
damn,
you ain't bringing no spirits in my house.
Yo, is Peruzia Balak? Is she still with us?
Peruzia Balak? Yeah.
Old girl from The Craft. She should have got nominated for The Craft, dog.
Yeah, she's still.
Yeah, Vicky Valancourt for The Waterboy. Yeah, the last scene of The Craft, when like the spell go back on her, she's like, "I'm flying, I'm flying." Like, girl, get you an Oscar nomination for that, cuz she was acting, Ray, acting.
Yeah, I wonder whatever happened with her. I think she was decent.
She was. Did Eddie Murphy get nominated for Dreamgirls?
He got nominated, but didn't win.
Okay, he should have won for Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
That was Jimmy
Right,
got soul.
he should've
Jimmy
won
got
for that.
soul.
Because that's what I was thinking was Eddie Murphy from Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got the nomination.
Jimmy got soul.
He fucked up because of the Rasputia movie.
Damn, Norbit. How you doing? Ma'am, are you wearing bottoms? Of course I'm wearing bottoms. Show a bitch how to slide.
If you would have just told the studio to push that back a year.
Yeah.
He would have gotten.
Here's the thing, Norbit ain't a great movie, but I chuckled, man. Norbit had some fun.
I think it's one of those kind of movies and stuff. I mean, people are gonna be offended by stuff like that. That's one of those movies you just gotta kind of like, you know what it is when you're going into it. So if you pay money to see it, it is, you did it to yourself.
That's got one of my favorite jokes in a movie. It's a dumb, stupid joke, Ray, but it's it probably would have landed on our offensive list from last episode when Eddie Murphy is playing like the old Asian man who like raised Norbit basically, and he's like, Norbit, black man fast, but still can't outrun your problems. Like, damn, that's bars right there, Eddie Murphy in the Asian face. But Chris, you asked the damn question, so I'm assuming you got a good answer, sir.
I got a couple. So Eddie Murphy is one of my answers, and it's for the Nutty Professor. And I don't even give a fuck which one it is. I think he should have gotten nominated for those because in those movies, I don't think he was just doing impressions of the people he was playing. I thought he was acting his ass off.
Right.
So I really thought,
Sherman.
Yeah, if the Nutty Professor wasn't a comedy, he probably would have gotten nominated, right? And then
Hercules.
And then the other one that I'm thinking of is what's it called? Life with Martin.
Man.
I thought Martin's performance in that movie. The movie is what it is. I don't think it's a great movie. It's actually really depressing.
It is.
The trailers for it made it seem like it was a comedy, and it was a dramatic comedy, you know.
Yeah.
But I thought Martin Lawrence's
heavy on the drama
I thought his performance in that movie was just so like soul snatching, you know, and just great. And I thought
when they finally made it to Yankee Stadium or wherever they was at, Chris, what would you do when your son was at home, crying at home on the bedroom floor because he hungry?
And then, even like the part where Bokeem Woodbine can't get right. Martin does all like turns him into this like baseball player and stuff.
Yep.
And he makes it out of jail, and Martin has to stay there, and it's just depressing on so many fronts. And you just saw like this dude with so much potential in jail.
What was it? Was it Miguel A. Nunez who was playing the LGBTQ character, and he like finally just ended up committing suicide, basically suicide by guard because he couldn't handle being released and going home and telling his family he was gay.
Right, yeah.
Like that was sad, dog.
Yeah, it was real sad. Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? I can't go home, Ray. I can't go home. Like, damn, dog. Even the guard didn't want to shoot him, dog. That's how even the racist white guard didn't want to kill him.
Right, yeah. Martin's performance in that always kind of just
when he goes to get the pie.
Stuck with me. The pies, like nigga pies. It just always kind of stuck with me. I thought it was a really good dramatic performance.
It was, man.
Hopefully he did something. And also, I have another honorable mention too outside of Martin. Marlon Wayans in Requiem for a Dream. I don't know if y'all saw that, but he went to so many depths in that movie, and if anybody should have gotten nominated for something, it should have been him for that, man. But it was an NC-17 movie, so that was going to probably stop that. But,
yeah. Nah, that's a good question, Chris. Because shout out to Martin and Eddie could have been a dynamic duo as well, man. Because they did that thing in life.
Yeah.
And when they finally was old men and they finally started talking back to each other again, that was like, you know what I'm saying? It was emotional, dog.
Yeah. Now their kids are married to each other.
For real?
Yeah, his Martin's daughter is married to Eddie Murphy's son.
Oh wow, that's crazy. So for you, this is just a good time, but for them, that's what they call life. All right. Go ahead, Ray.
I was gonna mention, who should have been nominated for an Emmy when they crossed paths. You are reenacted, brother. You broke into my home.
You burned down my house.
You deserved it.
I know.
What you say?
I said, I know.
Yeah. Swerve Strickland and
if wrestling had acting Emmys, they would have got one.
Yeah, you have to call it something other than an
Emmy. The wrestling Emmys, the Remys.
Right.
Not to be confused with Michael Rappaport from Higher Learning, the Remys.
Because the whole premise of that is ridiculous in the first place. So having a good
it started with him throwing a shirt on this man's baby.
Yeah. So having a good scene doesn't make it Emmy.
By the standards of wrestling, though, Chris, it was cinema.
Yeah, by standards of wrestling, yeah, but by regular, normal standards. There's a reason why wrestling should never get nominated for shit.
So let's keep on this train and talk about Emmys and maybe some shows that have won Emmys in the past. Chris and Ray, one of the shows I was actually excited to watch, and I don't watch a lot of regular broadcast TV shows when they air anymore. I just don't have the time or the energy, or I'm doing something else. But one of the shows I did watch this past season was Scrubs, man. That Scrubs revival. Whew! And it wasn't quite like peak Scrubs, but I do think, Chris, and this may be a hot take in the Scrubs fandom, in Scrubdom, I think that this season of the Scrubs revival was better than the last couple of seasons of Scrubs when it was actually airing during its run.
The ABC seasons,
the ABC season, and even maybe the last NBC season.
Right, yeah.
I think the revival was a little bit better than both of those. So I really enjoyed the Scrubs revival, and I hope they get another season. But my question is there a sitcom or a show that you would like to see brought back for a revival run? And we can start with you, Chris.
So a show that I want to see got brought back. They're doing the Varnell Hill show, so I'm looking forward to that. I can't.
Did you miss me?
Yeah. If I was gonna do a show to bring back, it would be maybe a character that we were revisiting in 2026.
Okay.
I don't know. The whole cast of Different Strokes is dead except for Todd Bridges. So
we are getting a Different World reboot, though. I'm kind of excited.
Yeah,
for that.
I'm looking for that. I was thinking of that, and that was one that I used to say that to a lot of times. I was like, they could have been doing that show for years, but glad we're gonna get that. If I was gonna, let me think. I mean, you could do that show you could do that concept with a lot of different shows. You just have to make it true to the original. You could do that with a One Tree Hill or something like that. like they did it with 90210. I thought it could have been
Mhm.
better. The first season was fine. The rest were like I'm trying to think of one definitive. Like One Tree Hill would be cool, but I wasn't like I didn't like One Tree Hill enough to like
Right. To be
watch-
invested in a reboot.
Yeah, to be invested in it. Like I'd probably catch it and see what it's about.
About Gossip Girl XOXO.
Yeah. Didn't they do a reboot to Gossip Girl?
I think they did. And
Yeah.
and nobody watched it.
Right, yeah.
That gossip was kept secret.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody find out the tea, right?
yeah. But if I like, I wouldn't mind seeing like a follow up on like a Living Single. You know?
Yes, yep.
See where those characters.
Have
are
you
at.
seen the fan kind of concept for a reboot? It's actually pretty good.
Yes, I did see the fan concept. Yeah, so maybe something will happen. I'm Facebook friends with Yvette Lee Bowser.
Okay.
I met her a long time ago, briefly. So,
People don't know Chris was originally the actor that was going to play Kyle Barker.
I'm like, I'm too young for that one, man. But, yeah. Hey,
Big
shit.
Chris and Regine.
I'd play Maxine's.
Maxine, that's right. It was Maxine and Kyle.
Erica Alexander's. Man.
Yes.
She could get it back in the 90s. She could get it in the 2000s.
That's why Chris wasn't hired. Like, Chris, it's just a script, dog. This ain't real. Leave us alone.
Yeah.
Have you heard any of their podcasts? It's actually pretty good, Chris.
Now, I haven't listened to any of those yet, man, because I like all my content is like YouTube content and stuff like that. The only like follow like show that I like where they review the episodes. I've heard a few episodes of the Boy Meets World one.
Okay.
With Daniel Fishel and them.
Yeah.
They got one for Family Matters now, which is decent.
Yeah, with Thelma Hopkins and Kelly Shaneen Williams. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, I like if I might because we're driving to San Jose. That's going to take about 5 hours, so I might listen to some of that when we do that.
Okay. So your definitive answer as of this point, Chris, would be
it'd be like Living Single.
Living Single. Yeah, that's actually one of the ones I was going to go with. So now I have to think of another one. So Ray Williams, what show would you like to see rebooted?
All right. Well,
and why is it Seventh Heaven?
Well,
I think of one.
Stephen Collins, though, we can't.
Yeah, man. We can't follow that storyline.
Well, and this isn't going to help me beat the allegations. But honorable mention, I believe there was like a brief reboot for this, but Lizzie McGuire. There was a I love
Hillary Duff looking at his boy.
I always thought that show was so fake, man. Because my brother and sister are your age, Ray, and they used to watch that show.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, like, Lizzie McGuire, even at that age, was, like, so, like, fine and pretty. And I was like, and the guy that they had her like, I was like, this girl would be dating, like, juniors and seniors in high school.
Right.
Fucking with this.
Dating this dork.
Yeah. But that was the only, like, thing about that,
One show, because I think you guys mentioned like all the other like the black shows. Like I would love to see any of those get rebooted, like a Martin or something. Like you mentioned, the Varnell Hill is coming out with his own thing. But one show that I had gotten like deeply invested in, and I think you could still, especially in this climate, you could probably wrap it up because the folks on this show, they weren't afraid to like cross boundaries,
okay,
in certain ways. And it was one of FX's like first top hits, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna go with The Shield.
Woo!
Oh yeah.
I would love to see
I
it.
thought the last episode of that show, that Michael Chiklis kind of got everything he deserved. I thought, in my opinion. I don't know. Do you remember it, Ray?
I do, but the thing is, like, he just ended up in like a desk job though, and I'm
that
like,
was
really?
his hell though. That was the thing, because that was one of the things he never wanted during the show.
Right.
He always wanted,
his hell was being put in a desk job. I thought it was poetic. Me personally.
Yeah.
So would your reboot of The Shield pick up with Chiklis' character, or would it be launched off of some other character from the show?
I think it would be picked up with Chiklis to see where he ended up. If he ended up like continuing on with that job, if there are any other demons in his closet that came back to bite him, like 15, 20 years later. So, and then maybe move on, still go back to if the strike team was reformed or not, especially with nowadays, like if you want to start adding like, oh, is ICE going to be involved with us, or do we have to interfere, or do we have to be blocked by ICE if we trying to do our jobs in certain points? Like, I think FX would go there if they needed to go there. Like, is the National Guard getting in our way if we're LAPD, a National Guard, in the way where we trying to actually capture somebody? Like, so I think you could tell like some riveting stories with that if you could bring that back. What happened to, I know that the former chief who became like the mayor, like did he end up becoming like a Gavin Newsom type dude where he ends up being like the governor or something like that? So yeah, I would love to see the Shield brought back.
Okay, Ray believes in the Shield. It was a good answer, brother. I asked the damn question, so I got a couple answers. Obviously, Chris took one of mine, which is Living Single. I think that'd be a fun reboot. Again, as long as you stay true to the spirit of the original show, which was like, again, for anybody that like Friends, you can thank Yvette Lee Bowser and the whole crew of Living Single, because Friends they took their whole flow, Ray, bar for bar. I'll give a tip of the cap to well, they're already bringing back, like, the problem with this question is they're already bringing back a lot of shows that I would have given as an answer. Like Malcolm in the Middle is getting a reboot. Like Chris said, Barnell Hill getting his own spinoff. I think it would be interesting. I don't know how well it would work in practice though, but something like ER, which was this long running show. Like, could you do an ER where most of the hospital staff is new, but you get returns from people like Dr. Carter or Eric LaSalle's character? Would that still work in 2026? I don't know. I think it's probably easier to do with comedies than drama. But I think, given kind of the world we live in, I'm going to take a page out of Ray Williams' book and go with a show that wasn't afraid to tackle topics that were in the news, to talk about these issues. I'm going to say, Chris, I would like to see a reboot or a revival of The West Wing.
Right.
And in this revival, the president is Dule Hill's character.
Oh yeah.
Like, he continued on his path. He, took the wisdom from President Bartlett, and he's like, you know what? We can make a difference in this country. And he ends up in the universe of The West Wing. He becomes like the first black president.
Right.
Like, just seeing kind of like both as a reflection on the Obama era, but also like, how would he be able to govern in a divisive climate that we're in now? I think that could be fascinating, Chris.
Yeah, I think it could be too. Yeah. and his character was they gave him some juicy stuff on the show. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
And I think Dule could pull it off. Like, Dule's a good actor. He like the psych stuff is great, but I don't think he gets enough credit for being able to do comedy and drama.
Right, yeah.
Shout out to Dule. One of these days we might have to holler at Dule Hill, man. He feels like the kind of actor that would be amenable to being on a podcast.
Yeah, wasn't he? They did. It was like a quick minute. They had like the Wonder Years reboot.
Yeah, that was like 2 seasons or something, maybe 3 seasons.
That was real quick.
Yeah, Fred Savage got fired as an EP on that show for something.
Yep.
And then, the show was a decent show. Yeah.
That lasted about as long as that Blackish spinoff with Mark Paul Gosselaar as Tracy Ellis Ross's dad.
Right. Yeah. I thought that was a decent show too. I mean, I think what's his name? Who's the guy's name? The one that looks like an MVP that produces those shows.
Kenya Barris.
Yeah. I think he sometimes he overdoes it with his writing a little bit. And I think he probably did that on Blackish. In that Netflix show he had, I thought that show was a little kind of redundant because all it was Blackish except on Netflix, you know.
That was the title, Blackish. It's on Netflix now.
And I actually disagree with Ray a little bit on this show. Not because I don't think it is worthy of a reboot, but I thought Michael Chiklis I thought his hell was. I loved. I thought he got exactly what he deserved after seasons of just not being a good guy. You know, I thought that's.
I think if now me and Chris are like the studio giving Ray notes. Like, okay, Ramondo, this is a good concept, but I think if you were going to do a reboot of The Shield, it would probably focus on whatever this new iteration, if there is a new iteration of the strike team is, and then maybe mid-season, Chris, or towards the end of season 1 is when there's somebody's like, whatever happened to Vic Mackey? And then that's when we see Chiklis. So the show isn't revolving around Vic Mackey because, like you said, I think they left him where he needed to be. But I don't think you can do a Shield reboot without at least addressing
you have to bring it
Vic
back.
Mackey.
I think if you do that, or if you do the show back and he's just been miserable at that job for so fucking long, and you know maybe he could redeem himself a little bit, you know.
But the thing is,
go ahead, Ray.
I was gonna say, like, I think because he's always scheming, so he's always gonna figure out a way. Even if he's caught up with something, then he's gonna try to figure out a way to get out of it. So I would love to see, like, 10, 15 years down the line, like, if he's still kind of dabbling his feet outside of the office, even though he's supposed to be like at a desk job, is he still kind of like vicariously working through somebody else? Or did he actually learn from his mistakes and from all the grimy stuff that he did? Or is he just trying to get back into that life because he missed it so much? Like, I think there's a story to tell there.
I do think you like, I think you kind of have to start without Vic before we get to Vic, though.
Right.
But you know what? Vic Mackey may not have learned from his mistakes, but you know who would learn from his life experience and make this world a better place, Chris? President Charlie Young on the West Wing, coming to NBC this fall. You thought this country wasn't ready for another black president? Well, here it comes. That'll be the whole ad campaign. Like, hey, and they get the AC/DC, back in black, you're like, this doesn't fit at all what we going for. What are we doing? Martin Sheen, stop this. But yeah, I think the West Wing revival could actually be really interesting for such a time as this, Ray. Give us an example of what a good president actually looks like.
We know CBS ain't gonna have it.
No, CBS ain't gonna play it.
On NBC.
Byron, now they'll be like, you know what? We'll do a president show of our own starring Byron Allen. Coming up next, Mideast Peace Talks. And that's how you feed ducks on the pond, Ray. Cut the music. All right. This was by our standards, this was a brisk edition of the parlay.
Yeah,
we
it
did
only
it,
went
fellas.
30 minutes over. That's when my alarm went off. So
I was gonna say like this
Oh,
for
man.
us. Hey, baby steps, Chris. Baby steps. But yeah, we're gonna get out of here for this edition of the parlay. Appreciate everybody who checked us out live on a Monday evening. We'll be back next week. I don't know what we're gonna do next week. Maybe it may be time to bring the Kings of Sport back, coming off of the NBA Finals and then Tuesday's NBA Draft. We haven't really talked a lot of WNBA this year. Whoop, my Atlanta Dream, Ray. My Atlanta Dream out here doing work.
Oh yeah, they looking good.
Ray's Washington Mystics ain't half bad either.
Yeah, Kiki, do you love me? She came off the injury reserve and she started cooking, boy. So I'm glad she's back.
And the Chicago Sky are exactly where they deserve to be.
Even though they got a dub over the weekend, surprisingly.
They still 4-11, Ray. 4-11, Ray. Skylar Diggins ain't gonna let this happen for too much longer. She about to blow up the whole operation. She gonna be like Nino Brown when the Carter went down, Chris. A multi-billion-dollar operation reduced to rubbles. I blame you, G Money, and she gonna be pointing at Courtney Vandersloot. All right, so that's gonna do it for this edition of the parlay. We'll probably be back next Monday with the Kings of Sport, but again, card subject to change as always here at Nefarious Media Network. Be sure to check out a couple things. The Trip Rogers interview is now live, both in audio and YouTube form. Shout out to our man Jay Lacey, who interviewed pro wrestler Trip Rogers from out there in SoCal. So check that out, man, and check out Chris and Jay's exploits as they try to find the way to San Jose for AEW Forbidden Door. Chris is like, I already know the way to San Jose. It's like, Chris, don't step on my joke, brother. But we hope everybody had fun with this edition of the parlay. Before we get out of here, let's go around the horn one last time and get some plugs out there. Chris, what have you got going on, my brother? Let the people know about the Substack and all the other things that you are doing, my friend.
Yeah, I got a Lincoln Square article coming out this week. I don't know when they're going to publish it. It's on the white population in the Republican Party's fear that it's dwindling. Interesting read, so check it out. I'm going to work on something either tonight or tomorrow, just depending on how I'm feeling. I woke up real early today after going to bed real late last night, so I'm probably
this morning
take a load off today. So yeah, that's what's going on in my world.
This man Chris, man, he's a gamer. This was Chris's flu game, Ray. He wasn't sick, but he spent last night talking about Jey Uso and TNA, and Chris is fighting through it. We appreciate you, Doc.
Indeed.
Ray Williams, what have you got going on, brother? And where can the people find you? Besides the next CPAC convention.
No. No, you won't find me there at all. Don't go looking. But again, thank you, Brother Nate and Brother Chris, for the time. As always, you can find me right here on the Nefarious Media Network. More recently, as we stated off the top of the show, we do have a Styles Break Fights episode where we go into even more detail. Myself, Brother Jay Lacey, and Brother Chris Ely, we go into more detail about the political ramifications that UFC Freedom 250 has. And then myself and Jay also actually cover the results of the fight. And we also talk about the infamous comments made by one bonehead fighter after he got a tremendous victory. He went right away to stick his foot in his mouth, but I guess, as the kids say, he went clout chasing. So we'll see what happens after his chase of clout. So that episode went live today as well. So find that wherever you can find podcasts under Nefarious Media Network, as well as with the Post Wrestling Network. I was again one of the rotating guests, rotating co-hosts, if you will, with Kate from Montreal for Collision Course, covering the most recent episode of Collision, which was taped, but we still watched it as though it was live, and we covered it on last Saturday. So if you didn't get a chance to go back and listen to that review, go ahead and check that out on postwrestling.com.
Good stuff, Ray Williams. Always appreciate you, brother. Even with the jokes, we got to joke a little bit, Ray. We got to have some jokey jokes.
Indeed.
In terms of me, you can find me right here on the Nefarious Media Network. As both of the fellas have talked about, we were live for 6 hours and some change last night.
Yeah.
Talking all things pro wrestling. Big couple of weeks coming up for pro wrestling, where we talked about TNA Slammiversary, the great granddaddy of them all. Chris will be there front row for that extravaganza in Boston. We talked about Chris is going coast to coast because he's going to Forbidden Door to cover that, for Nefarious and for post wrestling. Then he's flying to TNA just for fun, just for personal enjoyment. To go.
If I go to TNA or watch a TNA pay-per-view, I have to be paid to watch that.
I was gonna say, Chris, what if we get media for TNA one of these days?
If we got media for that, I'd ask Jarek if he wanted to do it. I have to. Yeah, even WWE at this point, I don't know if I'd enjoy myself out of WWE.
Right.
Yeah.
Because part of the journalism job is, you want to be at least interested in the event, and TNA just right now doesn't interest me. So not saying it couldn't change, but right now it just doesn't.
Chris is saying he would rather interview the Booty Warrior again than do a TNA press conference.
But yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think it might, actually, if we start getting press for TNA, it might just to see how they conduct press,
That would be interesting because, you don't really get a lot of, reports from TNA in terms of media. So that would be interesting, Chris.
I'll look into that for you, Ray, if you want to do that eventually.
Sure. I'll bite the bullet.
Ray. Hey, Ray. If you do TNA media, you might get to ask Elena Black some questions, Ray.
Don't say it. See,
Ray's like, I'm all in now, dog.
I'm trying to stay professional. Stop it.
Ray gonna be like, Elena Black, my first question, I have a song performed by Casey and JoJo, arranged by Ray Williams, called You Lift Me Up. But yeah, we talked all about TNA, AEW, WWE, and NXT on NWA last night, along with a thought-provoking conversation. I think we went, about an hour and some change with Brandon? Brandon Thurston from WrestleNomics. We had a great conversation about the business side of pro wrestling, so check that out if you are so inclined. Again, as Ray mentioned, if you want to hear more about UFC Freedom 250, check that out in the archives. The interview with Trip Rogers is up now with Jay Lacey. So we got a lot going on. If you're a New York fan and you want to relive the Knicks championship win, we got them live watches still up on the YouTube channel. So we got a lot going on here in Nefarious, and we're going to keep it going, man. The Level Up year is in full effect. If you want to help us level up, head over to the Patreon, where $3 gets you in the door for over 300 hours of audio and video content, talking about politics, pro wrestling, pop culture, sports, and everything in between. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Parley presented by the Nefarious Media Network. Want to give a shout out to everybody for listening, either live or in the future. And of course, Ray, we want to give a shout out to W and our forever First Lady, Michelle Obama, for starting the healing in this country, man. A pack of Altoids could save the world, ladies and gentlemen. They need to at least do an Altoids commercial or something for the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah,
do something. Yeah. And donate all the money to charity and stuff. Do it, man. George, Michelle, get on that. And then you can just have the camera pan and just Barack and Laura, these two. But that's gonna do it, man. For the professor, Chris Ely, for the super producer, two-way Ray Williams, I am the Godfather, Nate Milton. You've been listening to the Parley on the Nefarious Media Network, and we will catch you guys next week Hit the button right.